Jews will settle the entire biblical land of Israel, from the Nile to the Euphrates. It will encompass not only Gaza, Yehuda, and Shomron, but also the entire Lebanon, parts of Turkey, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. The Talmud in Shabbat 32b says that when Mashiach comes, every Jew will have 2,800 non-Jewish servants. This is based on a verse in Zechariah.
Oh, welcome back to another episode of Slightly Offensive. We are so back in the madness. Very, very happy about it. Unfortunately, our graphics might be a little bit slow tonight. Apparently, when I said we're all kind of retarded, I also meant my graphics as well, as the computer is being bombed by Lebanon as we speak. I told Georgie not to name it a 9-year-old Palestinian girl. As you shouldn't name it that. It's going to get bombed. So he changed the name to a Lebanese paramedic, and they bombed that too, unfortunately. That was a rabbi letting us all know that the Greater Israel Project is underway, and the United States is paying for it. Right now, we are blockading Iran. Very, very good news for Israel. We are also allowing the besiegement of southern Lebanon, which is also very, very good news for Israel as well. We're also changing the cap on day trades, which also helps Jewish bankers. And then like Pete Hegseth is quoting fake Bible verses, which also mocks Christianity and helps Jews. It's a very weird day for me. It's like, what the heck's going on in this country? I don't really know. We got a great show. We're covering a wide range of topics today. It is a little bit of a slow news day, but that's not going to stop us from our Tuesday, Thursday solo shows. Joining me today, of course, is resident producer and also Chud of the Month here on Rift TV.
Chud of the Month. It's me, Chud of the Month. Twink number 3, I believe they call me. Why does the confetti never fucking works? And it looks like we have a lot of lag. So I don't know what that is. It's not my fault. We had a power outage and now the computer looks like it's fucked up. But the late stream is my fault. I take full accountability.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this. So that was a great clip that we saw here. We'll play it one more time from someone named Jewish Rabbi. Talked that every Jew will have 2,800 non-Jewish slaves, which is fantastic. I had a great week. I was told that I tried to kill my family, that I was a pedophile, and also that I was schizophrenic, which apparently, according to the internet, as I've always told you, believe everything you read about me on the internet. So to my haters, to the journalists in my DMs, if you read it online, it's definitely true. And as we know with Amber Heard and most divorces in this country, if your ex-wife says it to get money and to manipulate you, it's definitely true. So believe everything you read about me going forward. Unfortunately, people don't believe what's going on in the middle of the world. The Iran war is basically just cranking up. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this video. Hit the like button. We are on Kick now. We have a catastrophic amount of Kick viewers. It's crazy. I can't even count them all on one finger. It's insane. But we are relaunching this show, so check us out on Kick. We are a Rumble show, but we are also doing a supplemental stream on YouTube. Shout out to my YouTubers. And we are also on Locals. Saturdays now. This Saturday, we will have a partial show on the platforms, and it'll be on Locals, really a Locals exclusive with a lot of misogynistic, racist, and inappropriate stuff that you probably shouldn't show to anybody. That will be there on Locals only, ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. Anyways, check out this clip, and let's start the conversation here.
The Jews will settle the entire biblical land of Israel, from the Nile to the Euphrates. It will encompass not only Gaza, Yehuda, and Shomron, but also the entire Lebanon, parts of Turkey, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. The Talmud in Shabbat 32b says that when Mashiach comes, every Jew will have 2,800 non-Jewish servants. This is based on a verse in Zechariah.
All right. So in the meantime, we're going to become slaves to Jews, allegedly. That's what they're saying. And I love this. Imagine if you were a white guy and you just said, like, I was in a sauna earlier with Hermes. This is not starting well here. We were at Lifetime, and there was a black guy and a white guy arguing about race. Imagine if I was like, you know, guys, by the way, just casually putting this out here, we're going to get back to the plantation days. We're getting back. Every white man's going to get 100 acres and 2,800 niggas to till the land. Do you think you'd probably get the shit beat out of you? At least in the moment, yes. Probably get your membership revoked from Lifetime, and you get in trouble. Although I did loudly say with a bunch of Indians in the sauna, man, these Indians are ruining our entire city. They're ruining everything. They are ruining everything. But no, you can't say stuff like that, right? That's inappropriate in public. Normal, decent people don't talk about that. But the Jewish population doesn't seem to care. They don't care because they own you. They own you. You're a debt slave. You're an entertainment goy cell. You love to watch your Euphoria season 3. Yeah, I'm watching it with Hermes and Blue. It's weird. It's what you would expect an Eastern European and a Mexican to put on TV. Weird stuff. But I'm watching it. It's uncomfortable. Yes, I'm playing Super Smash Brothers just to balance it out because the Japanese are honorary whites. And you're getting out here and you're like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to become. Well, let's get into the war in Iran, which wages on. Let's get into it. Well, Pete Hegseth is back in the news. You know, Pete Hegseth, for as much shit as I get from people based on lies, Pete Hegseth is actually kind of a legend. He's the only person that the Trump administration I like. He's an alcoholic. He's getting rape allegations, and he's cheating on his wife, and he's quoting Pulp Fiction and thinks it's the Bible. No, I'm joking. He's my favorite person because he's like your typical American frat boy, right? And so he talks about this. He has to justify Trump's Jewish war and make it about Jesus Christ, which is kind of a hard thing to do. So he's like, what do we do? He goes to Jewish cinema, to Hollywood. He accidentally, whoever wrote this speech is going to get fired for sure. But whoever wrote it, I think they did it intentionally, and hats off to you.
Yeah.
This is absolutely hilarious.
Patriot.
He quotes the Bible, the holy scriptures of Christ, and it's actually a fake Bible verse. We'll talk about it in a second. Listen to this.
So the prayer is CSAR 25:17, and it reads, and pray with me, please. The path of the downed aviator is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of camaraderie and duty, shepherd the lost through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother. And you will know my call sign is Sandy 1 when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
And you will know my name is the...
Like, everyone's like bowing their heads, and it's like, did he say she-shart? I think he said something like that. She-shart.
Caesar. It was... I think it was CSR. I looked it up. ChatGPT told me this. It was CSR, and I think he was quoting not a Bible verse. Everyone's saying it's a Bible verse. I think it's a variation of it's like an Ezekiel Bible verse, but the verse is from CSR 24:17, and that's like a combat search and rescue. I don't know if it's a book or what, but the CSR means combat search and rescue. So I don't know if it's from like a book they have, but it's still very interesting.
Okay, but pull your mic up to your mouth. By the way, I don't know why it's pointed down there. But I'm going to say this. It doesn't matter. They're praying. They think it's the Bible. Like that's what's, I don't know. I can guarantee that he thought it was scripture.
He's definitely passing it off
as scripture.
Like it is scripture.
Correct.
He's
Everyone's
saying, please
praying.
pray with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a prayer. Okay.
Correct.
So he's saying it's a Bible verse, but it's really just a Pulp Fiction quote, or it's from this book. It could be either, did the chicken come first? Or did the Pakistani who fucks the chicken come first? That's what I always ask my children, according to court records. That's apparently what the kind of guy I am, according to court records. But jokes aside, it's like, you look at this and you're like, we have podcasters and celebrities running our country. And I have never been more doubtful that our president actually runs our country than now. A lot of people are talking about the fact that, Netanyahu runs our country, and that's kind of true. But Netanyahu is really just also a front man, by the way, of a larger Zionist occupying network. This goes way before Netanyahu. And if Netanyahu died, this will go way after him. And I think it's reductionist to really talk about, Trump and Netanyahu. Is it? No, it's not. There is, you go all the way down to the protocols of Zion, which are definitely fake, according to Grok. Definitely fake. Like everything else, you thought you made it up until you didn't, right? You made up the lab leak until it was true. You made up the Holocaust numbers being made up until they admitted that they kind of just guesstimated. You made up the smokestacks and the crematories until they admit that they kind of recreated those. You made up GI. Give up, GI. You made up that we lost the Vietnam War until we admit we did. We never have, actually. A lot of things we don't admit anymore. And then you go like, wait a second, we've been in war for decades. No, we haven't. We've been in special military incursions. A lot of things you just realize are bullshit. And you realize that there is a very powerful group of people that are very smart. And this goes way beyond you, GI. Just realize that you're not really fighting Trump. You're not fighting Republicans. You're not fighting Democrats. These are all distractions. You're not even fighting the state of Israel, and you're not fighting Netanyahu. You are fighting a very well-connected group of people. They don't just run the banks. They created your monetary system. If you go back to Jekyll Island, as we all know, we're all familiar with this back pre-Civil War era, right? What is that? Was that 1914? What was that? 19 around there? Before that?
I'm not sure, actually.
So back there, Jekyll Island, you have the creation of the Federal Reserve. You have this move to eventually get us off the gold standard, in the next, half century. And there's this move to eradicate stability. This is pre-feminism, pre-postmodernism, pre-post-1950s era. And I like to explain to people who hear these things, like postmodernism is really, past the 1950s, post-World War II, right? That's like postmodernism. Because modernism was still, developing. You have the era, and then you have post-postmodernism. They're not even creative anymore. They call it post-postmodernism today. It's kind of crazy. I also just call it the rise of Gypsy Crusader, which is what we're finding out. The fact that he has sponsorships and we don't, something's wrong. But I will say this. One thing that he's done that I haven't is beat the shit out of a black guy on television. So shout out to Gypsy. Jokes aside, you have this era of this is institutional creation. People talk about how these people control our institutions. The reality is they created our institutions. And that's hard to swallow for a lot of people. That's hard to swallow for a lot of people. And these people swallow well. Now, there's a man who filmed the crash of an American F-15 fighter in Kuwait.
Speaking of owning all our institutions.
Yeah. And he's been arrested for filming a casualty of war. Watch this.
Our world lead, a journalist who posted this video of a U.S. Air Force fighter jet crashing west of Kuwait City 6 weeks ago. It's apparently behind bars right now in Kuwait.
That's right, Phil. This is some really alarming news coming out of Kuwait. Ahmed Shahab al-Din is well known to many of us, a journalist who has written for HuffPost, made films for the BBC, for Al Jazeera, for Vice News. He's also well known for his passionate advocacy and activism around the Palestinian cause. He has a huge following on social media. From what we understand, he went to visit his family in Kuwait at the beginning of the war and has not been seen in public and also has not posted anything online since March 2nd. So that is now 6 weeks. Now, if you look at some of his recent posts, and I should add that his X account and his Instagram account have been taken down, but if you look at his Substack, it appears the thing he shared most recently before his arrest was, ironically, a video verified and put out by CNN that showed a U.S. fighter jet as it was downed by friendly fire in Kuwait. He didn't offer any commentary. There was nothing incendiary, explosive about posting this CNN clip. But what this speaks to are these kind of draconian security restrictions that we have seen here in the Gulf. Since this war began, hundreds of people have been arrested. Strict laws have been introduced about filming things, showing intercepts, things of that nature, because of all of the security concerns in the Gulf. But the CPJ, the Committee to Protect Journalists, is saying that some of this is really just an excuse to round up people who they think potentially are dissenting voices.
So to tell you how serious this is, so CNN is talking about how serious this is to jail people for legitimately going ahead and filming casualties of war. Go try to find our episode last night covering this stuff.
You can find it on Rumble, but not
you won't
YouTube.
find it on YouTube because CNN had our video taken down for covering their story. For giving because they don't want our take on the internet. They don't want our take on the internet, so they took our video down for reacting to their clip. A small clip. For reacting to a CNN clip, we got our media taken down from YouTube because our commentary, not because we broke terms of service, because CNN had it taken down. CNN is petty enough that they don't even want your commentary and your position on their take. So it's like, it's so crazy, this draconian measures that are going on right now with Americans being arrested for talking about the war. And then we talk about CNN's war clip. We're going to challenge them tonight again, see if they'll do it to us. Every time I invite this, they do it, and we get it taken down. But they're taking down our reaction to them. So the video was taken down.
Yeah.
And so you got to follow us on Rumble. This is a Rumble show right now, but we're gonna break into Kick over the next year and a half.
We'll probably do some Kick exclusives at some point every now and then just to get the numbers up and subscribers up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. This is a Rumble show for now.
Yeah, but like that's kind of crazy, right? And so they said he had no commentary and got it taken down. And CNN's excuse to our video last night was, we didn't have adequate commentary, so it was stealing their content. That's what they said. We posted their clip of the news, and we had to have our video taken down. So this is a contradiction in mainstream media. The video is not available on YouTube from last night. Our episode is not available, which is why you've got to be on alt platforms. And realize it's why we stream everywhere, including on X, on Kick now, as of the other night. Nobody really knows that we're on Kick, but we are. We have, 1 billion viewers. I literally had a Holocaust remembrance expert come on the show, and she's giving us live updates on how many people are watching on Kick. So we gotta have a Holocaust. Dude, we should have a Holocaust remembrance ticker of like how many viewers are on the show, and it just goes up exponentially like throughout the show. Like it's like 20 million. And you're like, what? Where'd you get that from? And it's like, oh, it's just a Holocaust remembrance expert.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, and my Holocaust expert, they just texted me and they said it's at about 6,000. So we're doing really good on Kick.
Just going up. No one even
6,
knows.
000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're doing very well.
What a crazy, crazy time to be alive. But I didn't see the guy eject from that. Did you?
No, I didn't.
That didn't look good. It didn't look good. Remember when Kuwait shot down our fighters? Did they tell us what happened to the pilots? That was shot down.
I actually don't remember that.
Remember that was Qatar, I think, shot us down, right? Was it Kuwait or Qatar?
Qatar, it must have been Kuwait. Qatar wouldn't have done that. No, Qatar didn't do it. It would have been Kuwait, I think.
Probably using our munitions.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, everyone has our munitions.
They shoot down like 2 or 3 aircraft at the time? That's insane. All right, moving along. This is a crazy story. So I really don't like the Palestinian propaganda. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I don't like those just I don't like the SOC, Pakistani or Indian accounts that just like make stuff up, right? They make stuff up. This has been verified by, I believe, AP. So the Associated Press, from what I've seen. So a Western media outlet verified this. Essentially, Israel intentionally not just attacked 1, but 3 different paramedic convoys trying to rescue people. We talked about this last night, actually, that in these villages they're destroying, there's 100% people inside of the villages that are being targeted and they're being killed. This is a ethnic cleansing in southern Lebanon. And they want all of Lebanon, I think, actually. I think Israel wants all of Lebanon. I do believe in our lifetime, they probably will get it.
Yep.
Lebanon will see Lebanon.
The Sinai Peninsula. They want all that shit.
Right. And they don't have enough Jewish people to get there. So I'm supporting it because they need the Jews from America to move there and Europe. Get them out. Because I want them to live in their homeland.
Yeah.
Not because I'm anti-Semitic, because I want the Jews to have their homeland. I'm joking. It's horrible what they're doing in Lebanon. It's ethnic cleansing, and it's disgusting and despicable.
But viewer discretion is advised on this video. There's no blood or gore, but
it's blurred.
Well, it's blurred, but it's pretty hard to watch still. So if you struggle with stuff like this, maybe mute it for now.
Yeah, if you're gay,
check this
turn it
out.
off.
If you're gay, don't check this out.
Yeah.
The Israeli military today launched 3 consecutive attacks on 3 different teams of paramedics, all operating in the southern Lebanese town of Mefadun. And what we heard from the Lebanese health ministry was that first there was a paramedic team that, as is normal, responded to an emergency call. They were going to the site of an Israeli airstrike where there were wounded people they needed to rescue. And as they were arriving to Mefadun, they were hit by an Israeli drone strike, killing 2 paramedics at that site and wounding others. And then the paramedics sent yet another team in order to rescue that first team. And as they were arriving to the town, another Israeli strike hit that team and wounded 3 of those paramedics. So then the civil defense decided to send yet a third team in order to rescue the first and the second teams. They were also hit when arriving to the town. Another 2 paramedics were killed in that third strike, and more were wounded. The Lebanese health ministry has condemned this as a blatant violation of international law, saying medical facilities should never be a target under the Geneva Conventions. We're still waiting for comment from the Israeli military on exactly what it was targeting in these strikes. And we know from the past that Israel has accused the Hezbollah militant group that it is fighting a war with in the south of using medical facilities and ambulances as cover for its militant activity.
You know what's crazy? The propaganda is so strong that, dude, so they blew up a high school. Did you see that? Israel blew up a high school.
In Lebanon,
they destroyed the whole high school. And
we have that video, actually.
Yeah, we'll go to it in a second. But the people in the comments, the Jewish people and the Zionists, a lot of American Zionists, just share the same photo. You can tell they're like sock accounts. They're not real. They're like, oh, this high school? And it's like some digitized photo of like 1 million firearms like laying out in a building. And you're like, oh my gosh. Like, and also there was a rocket launcher there. And it's like, just
you mean this ambulance? It's the first one. There's all these guns in there. Oh, well, what about the second one with all the bombs? What about the third one with the missiles?
Yeah, it's like right.
No, you know, you mentioned earlier you don't like the Palestine propaganda videos. I actually do in a way, at least the ones that prove to be real. These are real reports taken from real news sources. What's happening in Israel can't be estimated in any other way than that what they're doing is war crimes. A lot of war crimes, constant war crimes.
It's not war crimes. It's not even, no, it's not war crimes, because war crimes would be at the level of like what Ukraine is doing to the Russians, right? Like just killing unarmed people that have surrendered. Like that's war crimes. This is ethnic cleansing. This is different. This is like you're just attacking.
But my point is that they're
non-military targets.
Committing war crimes in order to ethnic cleanse Gaza, ethnic cleanse Lebanon. So that is their means to their ultimate end, which is genocide and ethnic cleansing. But to get there, they're committing a lot of war crimes, and the whole world is turning against them, as we've covered over.
We love Israel. We love the war crimes. Mary Madelson gave another 40 million right now.
But it's important.
The midterms.
It's important to watch this stuff. You know, it's like people need to witness this stuff, especially the ignorant, especially the boomers. If you're not watching this stuff, you are not doing yourself justice. Everyone deserves to be informed. You should be informed. And these videos, these things, although they're hard to watch, you do need to see them because it gives you context in which to interpret this war and how you feel about it. And if you're not willing to do it, then, you know, you're okay being ignorant like most people.
Well, we're blessed because I'm going to show you this video here of the high school being blown up. Check this. This is real.
Who's that? Wow. Who's that?
What kind of munition is that? That's crazy.
I don't know.
That's a powerful munition to blow up a whole building like that. That's powerful.
Yeah, well, they're doing this in Iran too, and if you click the next link there, it's paired with that one. In the list.
Let me see something here real fast. I want to go down here. I want to see if I can find the picture of. Oh yeah, here. Look, this is what I said. Ready for this? School, goat monkey from someone who's surrounded with a dress on and Israeli flags.
Check their profile, see what their region is. I'm just interested. Live investigation here. You click the,
Haifa.
You click the
Haifa. That's Israel.
Click that. Yeah. Let's see.
It's in France. Haifa.
Oh,
they said they're in Haifa now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's in the historical quarter. I'm pretty sure. Look, you go down. Look, more people. Look, like see this guy with like Jewish. He's like, here's what it is. No one's like, thumbs up.
Yeah, the propaganda is insane.
This is not terrorism, by the way. This is just the terrorists are looking for Hezbollah. We should make a shirt that said, searching for Hezbollah on the Twin Towers be like.
Yeah.
It's okay. 9/11 was okay.
We have to bomb the towers.
Because Hezbollah,
there's one Hezbollah guy in.
There's Hezbollah inside the towers. You've got to kill the innocents. There is no innocent victim of 9/11 because there was Hezbollah in the towers. Even worse, there was Hezbollah in the Pentagon. And Flight 93 was worth taking down in the Pennsylvania fields because there was Hezbollah having a prayer meeting to Allah. Assalamu alaikum, bitch. Yeah, it's ready to take them down. So I got to say, 9/11 was justified. 9/11 was okay. In fact, we should have killed more Americans because Hezbollah was actually there, okay? And the only reason why we didn't destroy the White House, which we should have done, was because we found out there was no Hezbollah or Hamas in the White House at the time. But if Obama was in the White House at the time, it would have had to go. Because Obama is Hamas. Okay? What the fuck is this reasoning? It's like every moment that we live, it's like, well, there was Hezbollah there. Where? Show me on the doll where Hezbollah. You know what I'm going to say? Actually, next up, I'm gonna be in court on this coming week. And I got to just start saying this. I actually had to get out of my marriage because Hezbollah was involved.
That's true. It's
fact checked. We're making shit up in my divorce right now. So Hezbollah was involved, so I had to get out. And you know what? You might think that sounds crazy, but that's what's going on here. It's actually worse than that. You go, what's funny is when we joke, we can't even joke as heinously as Israel behaves. You go, what do you mean Hezbollah was in your marriage? Does that justify bad things? No, it doesn't. That sounds stupid, right? You know what's even more stupid than saying Hezbollah's in your marriage? Isn't that Hezbollah is in every single home, school, office, medical facility, paramedic office, paramedic car. It's in every road, every person. It's like the idea of you just created 1 billion Hezbollahs. And it's like, it's kind of a genius procedural error of like, you don't want someone to exist. They're all Hezbollah. You don't have to say this. What if the 6 million Jews were all Hezbollah? What if Hitler said that? Like I'm just saying, what if that really happened, which I doubt. But if that happened, I doubt it was 6 million. I think it was more. I think it was 100 billion, actually.
At least 7 million.
70, 50, 57 trillion, billion, bazillion. I'm going to tell my son 20 quadrillion Jews died in the Holocaust. But if it was 20 quadrillion, it was so many. It was only
one survived.
All but the new survivors we find every day, including the ones that weren't in it, but they survived the time.
Yeah.
But I actually, it didn't go very far, so I deleted it. But I said Tulsi, she was like, it's Holocaust Remembrance Day today. And I go, actually, it's not 6 million. You didn't include the survivors of the Holocaust 2 on October 7th.
Yeah.
The Holocaust 2 is what I'm calling that now.
So are they.
They are due. They're calling it October 8th, the Holocaust 2.
You had like a 20-year-old say, I'm a Holocaust survivor in Israel. It's like, which Holocaust are you talking about?
She said, she said the new Holocaust.
Yeah.
We got a lot of those Holocausts going on today.
There's a link paired with this. So Israel is bombing schools, and they're not just doing this in Lebanon. They're not just doing this in Gaza. They're also doing this in Iran. Well, Iran, because their IQ is so high, they're smart enough to create a means to still educate their children, it should be right under it. There's 2 links under one video.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yep.
Missed that entirely.
All right, check this out. It's just an article here. Go ahead.
Iran moves entire education system online from April 21st. So they're not even putting kids in schools.
Can't even go to school anymore as an Iranian child because
they're going to bomb the schools.
Because they will bomb the schools. It's like, how much more does the world need to see before they actually turn on Israel? Like, people are talking about the current regime of Israel. It's like, no matter who's in power, they will be doing this.
Well, what's crazy is like we put people on the educationally online system, which we all know isn't good for a country. Okay, so maybe this is the ultimate weapon against Iran, is making them go to online Zoom school. Because Zoom school is like being a quad amputee and jerking off. It's like, how does that make sense? You know, it doesn't make sense. And you can't really get educated online. Anyone ever done online college? I took a class online one time. What was that?
I was radicalized. That's
crazy.
Online. I got radicalized online, but that's about it.
I'm Timothy McVeigh, and I bombed the federal building in Oklahoma City. That's basically that's what the internet is. But that's what the internet is fake, right? The internet is fake. That's sort of like the joke of it. The internet's not real. That's why I said at the beginning of the show, everything you hear about me online, believe it, because people just say whatever they want online, and then they accuse you of things that they're doing. I can't even keep up with the scandals today. I heard Lauren fucking Boebert, Tits McGee, who I know, by the way, and came on this show, unfortunately. And by came, I mean appeared in person. She said specifically, why is everyone in this building so horny in Congress? I'm like, well, I don't know, Lauren. You ever looked at yourself in the mirror?
We have that video at the bottom.
You ever looked at yourself? No, I'm joking. But it's like, wasn't she just getting like felt up at a fucking movie theater? Like a base trad woman? She'd be the most trad woman she's an e-girl. That's the most trad thing I've seen an e-girl do in the movement, is just get felt up in a theater.
Right? Very traditional. Yeah, that's traditional.
Yeah, it's like, why is everyone not sexual patriots today? It's like, Lauren Boebert, sexual patriot. Okay. She said that. It's down at the bottom.
That's the job of Rift TV.
Where is that?
We will turn everybody into sexual patriots. All the way to the bottom.
Here's where she said this. Yeah, this is not a joke. Lauren Boebert, by the way, wearing this. This is crazy. Watch. Lauren Boebert wearing this asked us why we're all so horny. Crazy question.
Yeah, go to church. Find Jesus. Like, I mean, why is everybody so horny here?
I don't know, Lauren.
Maybe it's because we can see your tits.
Maybe because you have giant
Maybe it's
personality.
Because of the tits out.
Maybe because your boobs are on display. Maybe because your breasts are showing. That's possibly why people. Excuse me, everybody. Like puts her boobs on the desk. She's like, she's like down here. She has a different centripetal force. Even like she can't even ride roller coasters because it causes the cart to derail.
The gravity pulls in.
She can't even ride roller coasters. Lauren Boebert, she's sitting here. Excuse me. Eric Swalwell's moaning in the background.
Why are you so horny?
Why are you all so horny, you fucking bitch? It's like, maybe because your boobs are in my face, ma'am. I'm sorry. Couldn't hear you behind your areola gravitational pull. I'm currently orbiting your chest. It's so big. Thank you very much. And you're wondering why we're all so horny. Why am I not getting invited to Republican dinners anymore?
Well, we don't need to. We just show up, bro. We just show up to them.
I'm joking. But it's true. It's like, she's like, well, why is everyone so horny? And you go, bitch, please. That's like when I watch black people be like, why is it so unsafe? Let me tell you. Let me explain to you the reality of your skin color. But going down here, it is remarkable. Now, moving ahead on this Iranian stuff, but we're going to be adding more segments next week. So we'll have more segments because I get tired of this stuff too. I know you all do. But that being said,
we'll have to brainstorm, sit down, and
I already have some ready.
Yeah, we will. We'll think about it.
But jokes aside,
what would you guys like to see? Comment in the live chat and I'll read it. Tell me what you guys would like to see on the show.
Well, one of my favorite things was there was an article written calling me a pedophile. And then it wrote at the end, this is what I say about how the world's ridiculous. It was like, and he uses face filters to correct his chin because he has a double chin, which is like kind of crazy. And you go, and they're like, and he colors his hair. And it was like, the diss wasn't the pedophile, it was using face filters. It's like, that's what they do to Trump. They're like, Trump raped a woman and he also ate cheeseburgers with the NHL. Like, okay, well, what? Okay. That's a weird double entendre there. It's not serious. We don't live in a serious world. We live in a very joking world now where things just aren't serious. Like, you're not supposed to get mad about the pedo remarks. You're supposed to get mad at the fact that he uses face filters. That's how they work today in the news. Now, it's not just that how they work. Trump's actually using the same thing. Trump is rage baiting us. You know, like we're like, hey, you know, by the way, they're killing children. He's like, yeah, well, you're not putting dead kids in your car, are you? Well, apparently Trump doesn't give a shit. He ran on no wars and low gas prices. Now we do have the war and we have high gas prices. Look what he said here. This should make you feel a little bit sick as an American. It should make you feel pretty bad.
Sick. On gas prices, how much longer will Americans continue to see these high gas prices?
Well, they're not very high. If you look at what they were supposed to be in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon with the danger that entails. So the gas prices have come down very much over the last 3-4 days. I know, you know, that's what ABC says. But the fact is that if you look at the stock market's up, everything's...
I love how Erica Kirk is at Don Jr.'s baby shower on April 12th. I think it was April 14th. Cancels a tour that was safe for the vice president, but not for her. And Andrew, Colvett, I like Colvett. Andrew, why? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You got a lot of people saying a lot of things that I don't think match up to common sense people like myself. And I'm not a big anti-Turning Point person, not a big anti-Trump person. I'm really just a pro-America first guy. And Trump has put himself against America first. Erica Kirk has shown that she's not America first. And so, like, I'm not one of these A-log streamers that's just like, fuck Turning Point and fuck Trump. I've worked for Trump. I've worked for his campaigns. I've put myself out there. I'd consider my entire career, I started it to help Trump. I started working in media to help Trump. That's why I did what I did, to help his press, to help him to just expose the nonsense and the grifters who hated him. And now the only people that like him are the grifters. Do you see a lot of controversies about Cat Dirt or Eric Doherty or Gunther Eagleman or DC Drano or any of these people who just grift and grift and grift, and they'll do it till the dollars dry up? And if the money was in the Democrat Party, they'd be Democrats tomorrow for a different reason than other people would. They work for money.
A lot of people are turning on him, though. You have Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly. Who else? Am I missing anybody?
You have comic Dave Smith, Theo Von.
Technically Nick Fuentes as well.
Nick Fuentes, Dave myself. Smith. Myself.
Yeah, Elijah.
A lot of people.
A lot of people are turning against him, and it's because of clips like that, like we just watched. He's saying gas prices were not high enough, actually, to take out the nuclear capability of Iran. He said that he was willing to let it go even higher, maybe even up to $8 potentially. He says it wasn't even close to as high as it should have been. For what? To take out Iran's nuclear capability? Did we vote for that? I didn't vote for that. I actually voted for no new wars altogether and lower gas prices. How about you, Elijah?
I'd like black people not to be in the same communities as white people. Don't ask me what I like. I'd like separate seats on the bus so I could use it. That's what I'd like. I'd like a drinking fountain that I would use.
It's going to be a very serious show today. Very good stuff.
Oh, boy. I'd like to fuck Irina Zarutska if she was alive. That's true.
Welcome to Slightly Offensive, everybody.
That's what I'd like. I'd like a chance with Irina Zarutska. Unfortunately, she had a different dagger put into her than mine, and She's not here to joke with me.
Well, that's an interesting question, actually. If she was ugly, do you think there would have been the national outrage that there was?
Of course.
You think so? On that level?
It was brutal.
Oh, I know.
That was. I think the memory of it is like, because every guy wants to fuck her, and you look at her
subconsciously, right?
Well, because you want to reproduce with her. She's got good genetics, right? Like Sarah Stock was a fake blonde, right? And I've heard people wanted to reproduce with her. I saw a groiper today called Sarah Stock's aborted fetus groiper. Yeah. And I found out the guy who runs that helped clear out the Rift office when we left Florida.
My favorite is...
What are you doing, people? That's horrible. Sarah Stock never had an abortion. I want to clarify that. She never had an abortion, and I've never had an abortion. I'll always clarify that because that's one of the very big things.
Do you really think Elijah would ask for an abortion with Sarah Stock?
Yeah, if Sarah Stock actually had a baby, which that never happened.
That is kind of premium genetics.
You would never abort that child. That's crazy.
Who would do that? That is insanity.
But Irina Zarutska is not even a fake blonde. Irina Zarutska is a real blonde. And realistically speaking, it's like, and I'm not being crass here. I'm not making it about sex, but there's this primal instinct in men to protect women. And you see that. And it's like, that's a woman that you see and you go, oh man, I can't talk to her. She's like in her work clothes working at Chipotle or wherever she worked. And you go, oh my gosh, she has no makeup on. She's got off a 9-hour shift and she's like just beautiful. And like, you know, that weird like nerd feeling that even if you got money or anything, you like sit on the bus and you're like, oh man, like maybe she's poor and that's my way in, right? She's on a bus, right? Maybe she's poor and I can come in with some money and like give her a good life, which is you could have, right? Yeah. I can give her a good life. So she had a boyfriend at the time and I feel really bad for him. And you look at that and every guy's not like, oh, I want to fuck her, but you're like, man, I just want a girl like that to have babies with. Yeah. And then some guy sees her, this chimpanzee. We're going to talk about vaginas in a second. Did you see the study on vaginas that came out?
Of course.
Okay. Is it in here?
No.
I'll bring it up. You see her, and this guy goes, and he's like, I'm going to get that white girl, and goes, I got that white girl, right? Stabs her in the neck.
Her a white bitch, actually.
Yeah, and like everyone knows, I've been a little bit,
let's get the close up. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I've been a little bit,
it's healing pretty well.
Swollen. By the way, also in that article, he's a pedo, and also he's got a double chin. You're like, hey, I was on opiates for like a fucking week, which makes you like swell up, and I couldn't go to the gym because I was just on opiates for a week because I cut nerves in my hand.
You're so self-conscious. That's like, you're such a Chad. You being self-conscious, it's like it's over for the rest of us guys. Elijah is self-conscious.
No, I meant
to glaze.
I just
this
find,
is not going to help with
I find it funny. I find it funny that they go after like serious accusations. They'll be like, Elijah tried to kill his family. And also he's gay. And you're like, what is the connection between killing children and being a homosexual? Like, those are not the same things. Like, you can't, it's like, by the way, this, you know, like the only connection I can think between a non-criminal label and a criminal label is like, he defrauded $53 million through medical fraud from vulnerable patients, and he's Jewish.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only time I'm like, oh, okay. You didn't even have to tell me that. But the articles are always so ridiculous. They're always like, by the way, Elijah Schaffer's schizophrenic on drugs and he's gay. You're like, does this gay do gay schizophrenics do worse stuff than not? Yeah, well, of course it's all true. It's on the internet, dude. So you got to believe that shit.
I saw it on a private forum, which I won't name.
I saw it on an X.
I won't name the private forum. But what you guys are doing is funny. And we do read it.
Someone said Sarah Stock was promised to us 3,000 years ago. Flying Dutchman. Oh my gosh, we're all going to hell.
Someone said
we would have been
the stream if you don't like blacks. Whoa,
we love blacks here.
We all love blacks. In fact, we are black here at Rift TV. All of us, we're black and we're Jewish.
We're Jewish. We're black Jews.
That's right,
dude. We need to get a black Hebrew Israelite costume for me to wear some nights. Mace Windu was the first black. That's an easy and ascended black Hebrew Israelite.
Funny, actually, yeah. We'll come out with purple lightsabers.
Dude, honestly, that was the coolest lightsaber. The purple lightsaber.
Well, it was cool because it was
the yellow and the purple
were special.
Cool.
That's why it was cool. It was like unique. There weren't any like that. And now there's all kinds of colors. You know, they
really?
Yeah, they have like yellow and orange. And
they always had yellow.
No, they didn't, bro. It was green and blue. Were the good
they had
guys.
yellow. They had one person with yellow.
It was blue and green, and then George Lucas changed it for Mace Windu. You can look it up. I'm not wrong about this. Well, yeah, you can find them now. That's what I said. There's new ones.
No, because they had it in the game.
Look up on YouTube, George Lucas, Mace Windu lightsaber.
Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking so much of the yellow lightsabers from, I think it was Battlefront 2 or whatever. In the video game, you can have yellow lightsabers.
Yeah.
So they had it in the video games. But they didn't. You know, I also got a Switch 2 for my birthday this week. Just a side note. I just want to mention something before we go on to the news. Someone said they want to hear me laugh a little more. Listen to this story. Just tell you guys about like not getting too caught up in politics. So, see, I told this bitch to fucking put funny videos in between the news stories, and he doesn't believe me. And I'm like, trust me, do it. People need a little bit of relief. Like, you need a black person just chimping out in between like Iran news. Like, you need that. You need it because it's life, right? You don't really care about the news. You just want to kill yourself and then pretend that you're alive, you know? This was someone. I remember one time I had a death threat in 2021, and I said, "You can't kill me. I've been dead since 2011." You know what I mean? I have not breathed a breath of fresh air since. But my grandma had her 83rd birthday yesterday. Our birthdays are one day apart. Her birthday's on tax day, and my grandma is the sweetest woman in the entire world. She is a beautiful creature. She's 83, and you know. My grandfather just recently died. I had my mother pass away recently. My grandfather passed away recently. A friend passed away recently. My whole family passed away recently, apparently, and that was my fault, I guess. But we've all passed away recently. But you gotta savor the moments with your grandma. Remember why you do politics. It's for your family. It's for the people you love. And I want to put on a special birthday for her. And so, I didn't have a ton of money to spend on it, but I spent $100 and got some streamers and some stuff. You can do a birthday really cheap. Don't give into you have to have these expensive birthdays. Just get a couple things. Walmart's really cheap. And I did a real birthday, like probably most of you guys would do, with just a cake and from Costco and a normal stuff. And I went upstairs. Outside here, we have my piano, and I went ahead and I played some worship songs for her. Believe it or not, as much as we joke about the stuff in the press, I'm really not that crazy of a person. I'm just kind of like a guy converting to Orthodoxy, play my piano, do worship music, read my Bible, make dick jokes and horribly racist jokes throughout the day with my friends, degrade women, and then go back to the Bible, as most Christian guys do.
Of course.
Yeah, as we all do.
As they do on Mount Athos.
Yeah. Rest in peace, by the way,
hell.
to the monk who was killed in the car accident in Mount Athos this week. Genuinely, rest in peace, and may God be with you, and may Christ be with you in your soul. But she, I played some music. Her husband just died, my grandfather, and she cried. She wept. So did my Aunt Donna. They wept and they cried while I played music, and they just really worshiped God. And they were praying, and I've not heard my grandma sing in years. My grandfather's been slowly dying from cancer. She's been very depressed. And, to me, I don't need anything, like my grandma got me thank you, Grandma, for my onion dicer. It's awesome. I love it, honestly. The best onion dicer, ladies and gentlemen. It's my greatest onion dicer I ever had in my life. Watching my grandma cry from the music I was playing and just connect with God and sing. And, she's just singing to God. And I got to share with my grandma and my aunt about the Orthodox Church and my journey so far and why it's waking me up. And I had a really big epiphany, which George will say aren't true in Orthodox, but I had an epiphany to like a prophetic thing that I thought my aunt actually did speak. It said from the mouth of babes that God speaks. And he spoke through a donkey, and occasionally he'll speak through a woman, which is crazy to think about. But he jokes aside, my Aunt Donna gave me a good word, because I told her, I said, do you know why I think the Orthodox Church is rising today? Because the Orthodox Church has been very popular in times of great persecution and has genuinely survived extremely persecutory seasons, proving its validity. It cannot be persecuted out of existence. And I mean that it works for men. And I go, and men are being persecuted across the country. They need a faith based. They need the church, the real true church. Yeah. And I go, and they survived communism. They've survived everything, including their cathedrals. They preserve their cathedrals, which very few can say. And And I go, and right now men are in a position where they need the true church, not the true church to get them out of. So they're going to Catholicism and to Orthodoxy. And, we see each other as brothers. We do see each other as brothers. And I explained to them, and, I feel like my aunt gave me a really good word. She goes, do you ever read Jeremiah? I go, no, not in like 10 years. I haven't read the book of Jeremiah. I haven't read it in a long time, actually. I read it like Bible school back in like maybe 2012. I don't think I've read it since 2012, actually. And she goes, Jeremiah, you should read it. I go, why? She goes, Jeremiah was persecuted and God gave him a record to speak to people and tell them the truth, but nobody wanted to listen to the truth. And he thought that he was mad at God because God gave him a deep burden to speak to people, but he was unable to reach the people. Like God said, hey, say this message to people, and nobody wanted to hear the message. And I think a lot of you guys feel the same way. You're sort of red-pilled, J-pilled, you're Christ-pilled, and you're walking around with a message, and you feel like everyone should know this. God's telling me to tell the world what's going on and what's happening, and nobody really wants to hear it. It's not really popular, right, to tell people the truth. So my challenge to you guys is read your church teachings, but maybe in your extra free time as well, maybe go through Jeremiah. I'm starting it tonight, or started it today, to go through Jeremiah and just read through a book on top of the readings that we're supposed to read. Make sure that you also maybe just have an extra time, you're bored, and go through it on audio, maybe just turn on the audio app and listen to it, because the word of God has the power to teach. It has the power to rebuke, to correct. The Bible says it's like sharper than a two-edged sword, and it can cut through bone and marrow, right? And everybody knows, you have to literally butcher something to get the marrow out. And so it'll butcher your soul. And the word of God does that. I'm not a priest. I'm not here to give you, it's like I'm not a doctor. I'm going to tell you how to live your spiritual life, or to tell you, if your priest tells you not to read Jeremiah, go with your priest's advice, not my advice. But if you don't have a priest, and you don't have advice, and you're looking for somewhere to go in scripture, maybe just crack open Jeremiah and see a man that lived in a difficult age and what happened. And you might, and you will, gain something from it, because God's word teaches, rebukes, and corrects. And if you're like me, you're a very imperfect person. You need the word of God to correct you on a daily basis, including my dad, who corrected me today, where I said, I will never forgive the people who tried to harm my children and keep their father away from them through lies and deceit. And he told me, he goes, you have to forgive them, because God commands you to forgive everyone who wrongs you and persecutes you, even forgive your enemies. And these are your enemies who have wronged your children and have lied about you in the press, in courts, and have tried to mar you so that your kids don't have a dad in their life. That's what they said. They don't want a dad in my son's lives. It's very sick, very twisted ideology. But he said, you have to forgive them because the Bible commands you to. And I said, fair enough, right? Fair enough.
You also have to, this is for everybody, this isn't directed at you, but you also have to forgive yourself for the things that you've done in your life, and you have to seek forgiveness through the church. And that's a very important thing. Until you're able to forgive yourself for your own sins, you won't be able to forgive other people, because you usually project your own sins onto other people, your own unresolved sins. So solve that. Forgive yourself for everything. Go to church, seek repentance and confession, and forgive yourself, and then forgive other people. You can still, a lot of people misconstrue what this means. It doesn't mean forgive and then let them into your house and let them kill you, like many white suburban moms think. You forgive them in your heart so that they no longer have power over you, and then you can move on with your life without grievance or grudges or anger in your heart. I think Jesse Lee Peterson talks a lot about this, specifically with your parents, which I've also done, actually. I won't get into the details, but, it takes some time. You reconcile your childhood, things like that. Maybe you had some issues, but if you hold on to those grievances your whole life, it will ruin your life, and it'll ruin your mental health. You need to forgive your parents, forgive people who've betrayed you, forgive your ex-wives. Forgive everybody if you can. Also forgive Israel and the Jews if you can. Back to you, Elijah.
Yeah. And you got to forgive people. This is that they lie, slander, persecute you, CSR 24/7.
CSR 24/17.
17 says.
Yeah.
Slay thee thou now therefore. I don't know. We gotta find out that reference and just start making up stuff in the Bible. Like the Bible says in CSR 24/17. Please write that down. We gotta find out exactly what he said so people get the bit over time. You know what I mean? Like just saying, like the Bible says,
it is 24/17.
Georgie is a gay. fuck his shit up until he learns his lesson. Like the Bible said, it's like in CSR 24:17, it said it. It's good enough to kill school children. It's good enough to lie. That's our government. All right, moving along. A couple more things on this topic before we move on to the next topic. Just want to mention here, United States has evacuated its final military base in Syria.
It was 25-17, actually.
25-17, thank you. Check this out. So apparently we've evacuated our last base in Syria. I don't know some of this stuff, by the way, could be wrong. So, like we're going off of reports online that are not fact checked. Sometimes they're not in a bad way fact checked. We're not in a good way fact checked. Like sometimes I think
this is correct. I've seen this on multiple sources. I think
imagine living like
correct,
that.
Yeah.
Imagine living like that. Just like you're in a field, it could be paradise. Got a goat to fuck every night. I'm sorry. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure, I'm with you.
Yeah. And literally have God's abundance earth under you to sell literally dead matter. Do you know I have a theory while you leave this up. Now this obviously would make my colleagues very angry back in the physical science world. Like I am a young earth creationist. I don't know if you know that. Yes, no?
I didn't.
Yeah, I believe the earth is young.
Oh, no, I did know that. Yeah, you don't think it's older than how long? 2,000 years?
No. 10 to 25,000 years old.
10 to 25,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I would. I understand why you think that. Do you just think like carbon dating is inaccurate?
100% it is. Yeah.
I think it is too on many levels.
Even plutonium, even when you get down to like atomic dating, it's really not accurate. And
I think rock formations is where I take my idea from. It's like different layers of rock, and you can kind of tell like how many years this has been.
You know what's crazy about that? I had a biological evolutionary doctor on my show who messaged me after Milo said that I had sex with Sarah Stock and that's why I was getting divorced, which is not true, and that's just the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I do have a dick and it works. That's why I have kids, but that was a lie.
Didn't your ex-wife text you later? Then she said she found out about that with everybody else.
Yeah, we all found out about it the same day.
She had no idea about Sarah Stock at all, and that had nothing to do with it. Anyway,
we actually found out about Sarah Stock publicly after we filed for divorce, so that's crazy. Yeah. But that aside, his name's Colin Wright. And he messaged me saying like, please find God and repent. I'm like, nigga, you're an atheist bitch and you love Jews. Don't. And I had an old host named Cindy Watson, and she was like, I'm gonna own you on this. She literally told me that. She's like, I'm inviting an evolutionary biologist and you can debate young earth creationism with him. Well, it didn't go very well for him. And they mocked me on the show because I was like, well, no, I mean, look, dude, vertical petrified trees have been found between millions of years of rock strata, and they're upright trees are found in what? Buoyant in water, right? You can see that right here in Lake Louisville, and you can see how the trees are buoyant and how they petrify. The strata rock formation time scale is bullshit, and nobody with a common sense, especially with these transitionary species, like. To be completely honest, iShowSpeed is the transitionary species, Yeah,
we had that video.
Yeah, that is. And as you'll see with vaginas, like black people are perhaps as close as we'd get to a transitionary species. There have been very many different, variations of hominoids or whatever you want to call them today.
Homos.
No, what did iShowSpeed say? He was like, Himalay klonganoids? He just kept making stuff. I'm going to start doing that now. Shingaloid, bingaloids. It's like, look, whatever you want to talk about in your version of events here, it's very clear that our current understanding of the time clock is incorrect. And the fact is, when you even look at someone like Lucy, what I was taught in the 90s, right, was this transitionary species. Parts are found from all over the region and sometimes all over the world. And they use shavers. They shave down like hip bones to make them look more human. It's absolute bullshit. But you don't need to tell me that there's evolution. I know evolution is real. I can just see the people that live in Frisco. And I can tell there's a big difference in how people are developed and how environment and diet and inbreeding and things affects, genetic variation. I mean, I am by trade a genetic engineer. I'm not fucking stupid. And what she didn't realize is that the way that I describe PhDs, because I dropped out of grad school, to get into this. In a general science sense, doctors don't really have a greater understanding of the, overstretching, practice of science than somebody that did well in an advanced program in biology. Neither do doctors, allopathic medicinaries, or even homeopathic. What they do have an advantage in is, like, if you looked at a pie chart, right? Your biology degree studies like 1/4 of the pie chart. Okay, depending on whether you're in earth science or physical science or theoretical science, depends what is. You're like 1/4 of the pie chart. You really understand it well. And then a master's degree is like, you go into like 1/16 of the pie chart and you understand that really well. And then you take a needle and you prick the end of the pie chart and you go into the ethos, into what's not even understood, because you're asking a question that's never been answered. It's your whole thesis. You are now in a needle point. So there's like, well, I'm a doctor in science. I'm like, yeah, nigga. It means you know a lot about something that nobody knows about, and you could lie to us because nobody did your thesis. I didn't do your thesis. You fucking defended your thesis in front of a board, because why do you have to go in front of a board to defend your thesis, which I had to do too? But why do you have to go in front of a board? It's because you're asking a question that has not been answered before to further the scientific discovery, and nobody can really say you're a liar, and you have to defend your study through actual facts, or at least through the scientific method, to show people that you've come to a rational conclusion, to at least theorize or defend your answers. That's all it is. You're not smarter than anyone. Your IQ's not higher than anyone. In fact, you're a fucking wage slave that works for $87,000 a year for the NIH in a fucking shitty university, doing assays and telling fucking Chinese autistic people to fucking learn how to pipette shit. Okay? You're not that smart. And when you realize that the whole science system is fucking bullshit, and that everybody's just like, well, I'm a scientist. You know why they have coats on? For the same reason why anyone fucking wears a uniform. It's just so people trust you. And they talk about that, the need for trust with patients. And you know why you wear coats in the lab? It's because you get crazy ass fucking shit like sulfuric acid on your coat, and you don't want to die or ruin your clothes. It's literally a materialistic reason, so you can bleach your coat, bring it back in, because whether you're like with me and Tish, you get blood squirting on you and whatnot. So you wear, you wear your clothes, and you wear a coat over to just like you wear a fucking apron to cook. It's literally just a tool so that you don't stain your clothes and get shit on your skin. That's why it's long sleeve and stuff. And everyone's like, well, he's in a white coat. Well, I got white skin, nigga. That's what gives me superiority to you, not my coat. I'm just kidding. That was a total joke, by the way. That was a joke. We love our blacks. We love our Mexicans. We love blue.
But it's also true.
But it's also, no, I'm anti-racist, actually.
Minecraft. Yeah, we're not racist.
No, but like, dude, I've already been in the system.
You do have a higher IQ, though.
I've already been in the system. And like I basically figured out from experiencing and reading the original studies of a lot of this stuff that it was just bullshit. And like, you know what? I always ask people this. I remember I was on the show and I told the guy, I was like, hey man, I got an A+, or I think I might have actually got an A-. Maybe I did actually. I think I did get an A- in advanced evolutionary biology. I did well in the courses, I studied well, and I understood the theories, and I understood the hypotheses that they were, projecting, and I, basically understood the breadth of what was going on. And I went into an additional series. I did 6 years of studies in evolutionary biology. Guys, by the way, that was the only theory I had a problem with. So I spent 6 years outside of school studying this stuff in depth. And do you know what's ironic? Well, I don't believe that most Protestants are really accurate on theology. Do you know who actually genuinely, I believe, has one of the most accurate form? Do you want to know this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know who I think has the most accurate series on evolution that exists? His name's Kent Hovind. And it's one of the most fascinating series you'll ever watch. And do you know how I know that it's real? Because he started a nonprofit, and he was teaching at schools and at churches and teaching across the country. And do you know what the federal government did to him?
I don't.
It was bogus. They raided him with the IRS, decided that him and his wife and everybody at the program, and put them in prison, in solitary confinement for I think a decade.
Wow.
I don't know if I think he's out now. But they decided to shut down the series while he was doing his tour.
What was his theory?
He proved a young Earth.
Is this the guy that was on? Was he on Joe Rogan by any chance?
No, I don't think so. Was he?
Different
Maybe.
guy. Well, this guy. Never mind. He's saying that the Earth is actually way older.
But he does it by disproving their methods. So he's not like, oh, by the way, Jesus Christ created the world 6,000 years ago and we're all alive. He's like, let me break down the methods. And it's boring as fuck, guys. It's about 45 hours of lectures, and I've watched it many, many times, and I've tried to debunk him. He disproves their methods. That's a minor resource. If you're not signed, by the way, I'm not using Kent Hovind as my resource for why I believe in a young Earth. I want to clarify that because people will criticize me, especially scientists who say he's debunked. But if you are not a scientist and you're not familiar with methodology in science and you want to have something interesting to watch, go watch Kent Hovind's series. I actually have the DVD series somewhere. Can you get that? Can you download that for us? Can we start watching that? It's fucking amazing.
I can pay for it legally and buy it, of course.
No, I'm saying download. I'll pay for it. It's probably $50 on like some organization's website. Yeah. No, but I actually will pay for it to support the org.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not a Ken Ham guy. I don't think Ken Ham defends young Earth very well. I think Ken Ham is a little bit sensationalized. Kirk Cameron's not my guy on the young Earth. You know what I mean? I'm not like, that's like going through a Bryce Mitchell for like your theology. It's like, I'm going to an actual, and then Dean Ortner is another source, by the way. Dean Ortner, who's in the world's Guinness Book of Records for passing the most volts through a human being and one of the youngest people to build a supercomputer in America at a young age. He's a really brilliant individual. He actually pioneered brain surgery by successfully transplanting brains in mosquitoes. That was my mentor in science, by the way. He took me on as my mentor, and I even talked to him recently. Dr. Dean Ortner, thank you so much for being my mentor. I have really remarkable mentors in science, and I used to be pretty exceptional and gifted in science. I still probably am. To some degree, because I'm still retarded and autistic. But it's like, I actually was going to be a professor. That was my whole job, to be a doctor and a professor and work in research. And like, that's what I was going to do. And then I realized, and then I go out there and then people are like, someone put in the chat, like, how many boys did you molest today? And you're like, why did I do this as my job? Like, I was going to be like respected and like, I was genuinely,
because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, but I was like, genuinely, like, people were like, wow, you're gifted in science. You're pretty advanced in this stuff. You're kind of above, challenge professors, get in debates, go be in decathlon. And then I come into this, and then I told everyone I was gay and retarded. And then everyone's like, this is a low IQ guy on a drug crash out. And you're like, actually, no, it's called being retarded. And by retarded, I just mean autistic. And by autistic, I just mean the world will be saved by autistic men. But like Jeremiah, just because the world isn't listening to us yet,
thank you.
One day they will. Thank you, Atrazine.
Thank you to Atrazine. Special shout out to Roundup and Atrazine for doing that to us.
Yeah, Ken Hovind. Also, look at old videos on YouTube of his debates. They're fucking awesome. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, I literally have no idea who this guy is, but I will be looking him up. It sounds very interesting.
Oh, it's shit that they tried to delete off YouTube too, by the way.
Just like CNN did to us. Fucking cunts.
All right. Moving on. I'm going to move past the
Iran war stuff.
Yeah, let's go past that.
Okay, down to relevant news topics.
Well, let me just go first to a quick cultural video here as a move here. Because this is kind of relevant. Check this out. Mexico's defense minister actually said that the secretary says 20% of weapons seized from cartels are of Israeli origin.
Yeah, we've been talking about this.
80% are from the U.S. Check this out.
It's weird how everything we talk about's coming up on the show lately.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Sicario and what that is, what the movie's about. Here it is, folks. Look at this.
Hablando de la estrategia general, se han asegurado en lo que va de la administración 23,000 armas. De esas 23,000 armas, el 80% son de origen norteamericano. Entonces, en este caso, más o menos es la misma proporción.
Correcto.
Ya se ha mencionado.
All right, go into Georgia here for a second. Oh, I was trying to.
It's too late.
I was trying to time that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was trying to time.
That's just our boy. Good. Secret guest.
Go to Georgie. Go into Georgie for a second. You're supposed to say something.
Oh, he's coming on here. Oh, hello, everybody. It's Georgie, Sith Lord Groiper. There I am. Look at that. Go follow me, Sith Lord Groiper on X.com. It's a great page.
All right. So he says this. 20% of the firearms that they're, absconding from these individuals are Israeli and American made. And that's actually pretty remarkable for a country the size of Papua New Guinea, with the population size of Papua New Guinea. By the way, Israel is going to grow a lot over the next 20 years. Israel's going to get bigger. Manifest destiny for Israel. I do believe that we will take Greenland in our lifetimes, for sure. And do you know why? Because Israel's rejected Greenland is rejected Israeli control and it's Christian. And they've been trying to bring porn and stuff into Greenland. There's a bunch of weird stuff. Yeah, but they're not Israeli controlled, I'm saying. They're Christian.
Oh, I see.
And they're like been opposed to a lot of the moral decay in the West, even in Denmark. And they've been very, very strong against that. And I know there's a bunch of Israelis.
You said you think we'll get it in our lifetime?
Yeah. And I think
Trump?
I think we'll do regime change in Cuba within the next 10 years. Easy.
Do you think it'll happen under Trump? Or do you think a different president? Because it's not going to happen under Gavin Newsom, our next president.
It doesn't matter. You made a million Trumps. The Jews will find their next Trump, dude.
Nick Fuentes will take Greenland and Mexico and all of.
I've watched Newsom talk a lot of positivity about Israel. I want to play a quick video here as we transition because I gotta go run and grab something real fast. But I want to play rather than going to a random thing. Yeah, that they're gonna sit there. I want to actually play a video that I think is no. Hold, give me a second here. Okay, right. I want to play a video that I think it's 5 minutes. Why? I want to play this.
Perfect.
So very rarely is there a AI video that I think is remarkable. And I actually kind of got emotional from this. And we might get a copyright strike. We don't care. So we're not trying to make money on YouTube right now, but we might get a copyright strike. Well, copyright strike's not a strike. We might get share our I don't know if the music is, I don't know this song. I don't know if it's a real song. It might be, I might sound stupid. I'm going to even stay here for a minute of it because it's basically like a song about we're all noticing and we're all seeing things. And it's got so many things that I didn't think
AI.
they would get. Well,
the song probably is.
The video's AI for
which is
sure.
Good for us.
But the song might be AI. That's what I'm saying. But there's always some idiots like, this is a ripoff of another song they changed the lyrics to. I don't know your stupid shit, dude. I don't know your music. Yes, Moby's Coachella set is amazing. Check it out. Check out Moby. Particularly, what's the song from the early 2000s? Look up this song here. If you want your mind blown, look up the song When It's Cold, I'd Like to Die by Moby, and look up the Coachella set with Jacob Lusk. Oh, it's back when music was still good and it was okay to listen to black people sing. But listen to this. This is pretty crazy here.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that the boat is leaking. Everybody knows the captain lied. Everybody got this broken feeling like their father or their dog just died. Everybody talking to their pockets. Everybody wants a box of chocolates and a long stem rose. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that you love me, baby. Everybody knows that you really do. Everybody knows that you've been faithful, give or take a night or two. Everybody knows you've been discreet, but there were so many people you just had to meet without your clothes. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's Everybody knows that it's now or never. Everybody knows that it's me or you. And everybody knows that you live forever. Oh, when you're done a line or two. Everybody knows the deal is rotten. Old Black Joe still picking cotton for your ribbons and bows. And everybody knows.
Yeah, you got Lebanon,
and
Gaza.
Everybody knows that the plague is coming. Everybody knows that it's moving fast. Everybody knows that the naked man and woman are just a shining artifact of the past.
Rest in peace.
Everybody knows the scene is dead, but there's gonna be a meter on
This
your
one's crazy.
bed that will disclose what everybody knows. And everybody knows that you're in trouble. Everybody knows what you've been through. From the bloody cross on top of Calvary to the beach in Malibu. Everybody knows it's coming apart. Take one last look at this
Palantir.
sacred
This is so
heart
good. This is the best video.
before
Yeah,
it
it's good.
blows. And everybody knows.
Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Oh, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes.
I was so wrong about Trump. I was so wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I want to say this before I introduce my guests. I want to say something because I had Nick Fuentes. We'll probably re-release the show. Maybe we should re-release it on Sunday because not enough people saw it.
Yeah.
We'll re-release it on Sunday. One of the comeback episodes I did with, in the meantime, while my life was being dismantled by bad faith actors. And Media Matters and a few big publications picked it up where I said, look, I was wrong about Trump. And I think Fuentes and I had a bit of a beef and a falling out personally over Trump, which I thought was weird because he was basically telling me like, you're wrong on Trump. And I was like, you know how he talks, you're wrong on Trump. You're wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm like, dude, look, man, I'm going to go to jail. My buddy, it's true though. My buddy's about to go to jail. We're going to go to jail. I'm about to go to jail. And I told people that I voted for him on two main reasons. One of them worked out. One of them didn't. So I said, I voted for Trump to get me and my friend out of jail. I had an espionage investigation that leaked to the public. Very serious. To explain how serious that was, because people always doubt it. That's not real. Like Harmeet Dillon, who's like working for the Department of Justice now, was like helping me with that. You know, Tucker was helping me with that. I mean, it was a very serious thing. She knew about it. She knew that it was serious. And on top of that, you know, by the way, Harmeet Dillon, a very, very good friend of mine. But on the other side, my friend, Michael Hennessy, who you guys know, Snowflake, he's going to come out here in about a month from now, I think. And he was about to go to jail for 5 years on a plea deal. We'll talk about Joe Biggs as well. A few friends were already in prison. I didn't want to go to jail. You know, I have kids. Believe it or not, I'm actually a pretty damn good father, and I didn't want to go to jail for my kids, right? As a dad, you think about those things. And I told Nick to his face, I'm like, dude, I'm a dad. I can't let my kids not have a father. And he was not just right about Trump, Nick. He was right about women too. because I told him he should get married. I told him, I don't know what was worse, telling him to get married or telling him to vote for Trump. But I was like, dude, I'm married. You know, you got to have kids got to have a dad in their life. Can't go to jail.
I think your divorce delayed how long it's going to take for Nick to get married by at least 10 years.
Yeah, by 10 years. And then it turns out my ex-wife is trying to get welfare from the Australian government and cut me out of her life so she can get money from the Australian government, allegedly, up to $8,000 a month. So that was her plan, to sabotage my income, allegedly, according to sources that I won't name, and take money from Centrelink. That's very, very sad. And cut me out of their life so she can get money. It's a very, very sad thing to do, for money to ruin boys' lives. But what's worse than that is maybe mommy's not doing well, but Daddy Trump is doing worse. And we're all married to Daddy Trump. Okay, we're in a very big gay faggot relationship with Daddy Trump right now, and Daddy doesn't care that the gas is expensive.
Daddy's abusive.
Daddy may be here, but he's not bringing home the milk. Okay, he's returning home. He left to get the milk, and he didn't come home with the milk.
Came home with Israel flags.
We came back with Israel flags and a $200 billion war with Iran.
Yeah,
and that's what we got from him. And so it's a very, very difficult relationship. And I remember, like, I told Nick, I was like, hey, can we just do an episode so people know I'm under attack? And I go, this is when he kind of agreed. I was like, he said he would already agree as a friend, but I was like, just to show you my favor. So I told him to go. He said yes out of the kindness of his heart. He's a very good guy, very kind. He's very lied about in the media. I just want to say this. Nick Fuentes is very lied about in the media. They paint him. They say he's a cat boy, he's gay, and he's, you know, all these things. And people will paint to beefs with friends. Like, we've had beefs. If you have real niggas in your life and you don't beef, are you real niggas?
No,
you're not. So, you know, real niggas beef. But when push comes to shove, he's one of the realest people ever. And he was one of the only and first people to reach out to me and just say, I'm here to help you, dude. And I love you. And he owes me nothing. No favors, nothing. He's on a high horse. He took Charlie's audience after Charlie died. He's more popular than Candace Owens. You know, he revels that of Tucker Carlson with cult following. And he said, I'm here to help you. A guy with no show, nothing going. And I told him, I said, you know what I'm going to do for you? I have no money to give you. No thank yous. But I'm going to let my audience know I was wrong about Trump. And he's like, thank you. Thanks. And it's true. And I was wrong about Trump. And I think that that's kind of funny because as someone like himself who's about, you know, helping the movement, I think he's just like, thank you. Somebody's recognizing that they were wrong. And we feel betrayed. We feel betrayed. And join me today for the second half of the show is my guest today. They call him the Netanyahu. They say, you share the first name. Maybe you're just as lame. The Netanyahu of Australia. They say, he's taking over Melbourne. He's taking over the West Coast. He's going out to Adelaide. He's taking over the Brisbane, as they call him. They say, how you doing? Albanese, Brisbane, they call him these days.
Is that right?
They call him Mr. Brisbane, the Albanese, the last bastion of white superiority. Brisbane is only 30% Asian. It's not 50% yet, like the great New South Wales. New South Wales, they call it New Dagestan. Actually, New Delhi. New Delhi, they call it. New Delhi, the new Indian capital of the world. Benjamin Netanyahu, they call him, of Australia. Welcome back, Benjamin.
Hello, Elijah. Great to be back. Yes, I'm here just to revel in all the bloodletting that's been taking place in the last few days since I haven't been on this panel, but rest assured we've been annihilating the enemy. But yeah, man, it's good to be here with you, Elijah. One quick shout out as well. If anyone wants to find who made that last video, they can find him on X. His handle is I Can't Even Films. I Can't Even Films is the gentleman's @ so check him out, give him a follow. He makes unbelievably good quality videos all the time.
What is this shot of him? What is that shot? Georgie, we're gonna do a whole camera lesson
of Ben.
Yeah, what is that shot?
I think you set it up.
No, not of him. You know how to use cameras,
Look at
right?
that.
Can you reframe him, please? Can you get that headroom down like 50? That's his camera for sure. Yeah, that, and then just no, don't use the red knob on the side to loosen it and move it down. Yeah, let's go down here. Let's watch this. Let's go down. And then wait, go up a little more. Up a little more. Now tighten it, zoom in, and then move it again. Zoom in more. That's a little less. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. That's perfect. And then move it down a little bit. A little up. I know it's hard. Yeah. That's
well
a nice
done,
shot.
Blue. Well done,
Blue. Nice shot.
Doing George's job.
Yeah.
That is, Nazis are the best filmmakers.
George already has a Mexican assistant.
No, that's fine. That's great.
No.
Yeah, it does.
The 3 cut isn't where I got.
Look, go to the 3 cut. It looks great.
No, dude, look.
He's moving the camera. Move the tripod, not the camera. Okay, nigga. I'm hold on. No, I know. The camera's loose. That's why.
So the question to ask for the audience while these guys are figuring this out, in all likelihood, we might have a transfer of power come 2028, which would mean the Democrats will take office. Most likely by then, the incursion in the Middle East will be far greater significance than what it is today. That being the case, is it more favourable for Trump to be involved in a war with boots on the ground to retain the presidency next time around? Or is it more advantageous for the Democrats to run with boots on the ground as we will end this war? What do you think, George?
Sorry, I was fixing some technical stuff.
So the
I know what I
argument
think.
is-
I know what I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think something very important here. I think that there's going to be boots on the ground in our lifetime in Iran. And I hope Buchanan gets to see it because he prophesied it. And
There we go.
I firmly and strongly believe the goal is continual war with Iran. And I think kind of like Russia, I believe that if we don't go to war with Iran, that we will be in proxy wars with Iran. Like we will be, like Iran will start attacking Kuwait again, and we'll do another Desert Storm type of thing and get the Iranian army out of Kuwait or whatever it is. We're going to be in an issue. And I think that what happened here is that the Chinese, who are sending ships through the Strait of Hormuz right now, have realized that they have a high strategic gain. And the United States is faltering, okay, in an extremely catastrophic way. And I heard this quote from Australian media, from Australian 7 News, that this is why you got to watch foreign media. They said, Iran. No, they didn't say that. They go, the United States, which has a very low tolerance for casualties, has a strategic disadvantage. I thought that's an interesting thing. It's like, yeah, because like Iran would like blow up, like Americans like, 200 Lebanese kids were killed today. And we're like, well, rip. And then like boomers like, they deserve that shit. Those kids deserved it. But then you hear like an American, and it's a straight up black. We don't even care about blacks dying in our country. We don't give a shit about blacks. That's why I was in the sauna today. This black was saying that. He's like, well, you don't know about me. I'm like, no, I know what you mean. We don't care about blacks. No, we don't care about blacks.
You were in a sauna with a black today, Elijah.
Yeah, at Lifetime.
Close
The
proximity.
blacks are getting money. We have problems bigger than you can understand. That's why I say Iran's not our problem. Blacks have money now. What are we going to do about it?
Did he have to reach over you to pour some water onto the coals, man, the hot rocks?
His name was Trayvon Martin. But he said, but he was arguing with this other white guy in there about race wars. And I go, guys, I think we're all getting fucked by the H-1B Indians. There's a bunch of Indians in there. And then everyone like looked at me. I was like, I think the Indians are ruining our country, But jokes aside, I was telling the truth, like, hey, but when a black serviceman gets killed in Iran, you're like, shit. Like one plane goes down. You're like, the Americans are like, we shut down 108 boats. And you find out like the Nimitz or, these boats, an aircraft carrier gets damaged. And you're like, it's a news story. It's like, there's a clog in the pipes. And it's like, it's on the news.
Yeah.
Because there was a sort of the Bay of Pigs, Cuba crisis, CIA memo that went out that was like, when one American is missing or down, like all of America is responsible type of thing. That was a real propaganda machine that's very good. And we think about that. But when like an American gets run over by a bulldozer in Israel, like defending, we don't talk about that.
Well, it kind of makes sense. The black the black service member getting news coverage versus like, I don't know, the average black gangbanger selling yayo to the streets. You know, it's a little different,
Well,
right?
speaking
it's like
to
this guy's
Elijah's-
serving his country versus slanging yayo to gangbangers. I think it is a little different, right?
Yeah, the larger point Elijah was making there as well, and it is true to say that the winner of war typically is the nation which can spend more blood than their opponent in the theatre of war. And so we can look at it as though, you know, at a certain point in time, the American citizenry got fed up with the amount of bodies returning from Vietnam at first, and then that brings an end to the war because of public pressure. And then similarly with the war on terror as well. But this calls into question, and what Elijah was addressing, is China is actually the nation on the face of the planet that can spend more blood than every other nation, because China tomorrow can conscript 30 million men, put them all on the front lines, have them all steamed rolled, turned into mush, and then conscript another 30 million men for the front lines. And a similar thing cannot be taken, similar action cannot be taken in Western nations because politically it's not feasible, it's certainly not advantageous. And the people will not put up with it. Whereas in China, the people cannot tell the government, no, stop sending our sons to the front line. And because of their population size, if they lose 60 million, they've still got plenty left in reserve anyway. So yeah, the ability to be able to spend a nation's blood, your own son's blood on the battlefield, determines how long you will stay in the war for. And when you're a godless communist state like China, who will not be questioned by its citizenry, and its citizens are almost subdued now anyway since Mao, they won't speak up. They certainly won't cause any type of disarray socially in their country. So yeah, they will get to the finish line. But the Americans certainly will not. And I do wonder, is it going to be more advantageous for Trump to have boots on the ground? But then we have to call into question whether or not it is the aspiration of the Zionists and those that are giving Netanyahu his orders as well to transform the world into a model they'd prefer. Do they only think that what they ultimately do hope to achieve, which is the destruction of the third temple and the rebuilding of their temple, do they think that's only possible under a Trump administration? Only because the Democrat base isn't of the same worldview, typically as MAGA, and so on and so forth. So does that mean they've got to rush to the line now because they know they may only have a couple of years left? And if that is the case, well, then that would lend credence to why they're trying to get the job done as quickly as possible right now, rather than to try to put it behind us and find a peaceful solution.
Well, I'd say this. I'm really glad we're in Iran, because God forbid the Muslims ever gain ground in our country. Anyway, check out the Public Broadcasting Company.
Salam alaikum, everyone. I'm Rami Youssef.
Oh, it's almost Elmo. Mr. Rami, what does salam alaikum mean?
Well, salam means peace, and it's a way to say hello in Arabic.
Oh, cool. Oh, salam alaikum, everybody.
Elmo and I are here to wish all of you a happy Arab American Heritage Month.
Yeah, happy Arab American Heritage Month.
I'm so proud of my Arab heritage, and I'm so happy to share this month with my fellow Arabs and Elmo. So, thanks, Habibi.
Oh, wait a minute. What's Habibi?
Oh, it's an Arabic word for a special friend.
Really? Well, happy Arab American Heritage Month, Habibi.
Dude, do you want to hear something crazy? So I had it at the height of, this is during Blaze TV times, I had so many parties. By the way, I want to clarify this for court records. With the sponsorship of my ex-wife, we had so many parties that she threw at our house in LA while I was at Blaze that Habibi at the local liquor store bought a freezer just to store bottles of vodka for us to be able, a pull drawer, so that he could sell it to us on a weekly basis, like 20 bottles a week, to have for our parties on the weekends that we had in LA that were Blaze parties. I saw Josiah Moody, who's a good friend of the show. He was talking about Blaze blackmail. I'm not involved in that, and of course he's not either. But we do know that Hayden said he was going to blackmail Blaze. That's between him and Blaze and Glenn. But it's like, Habibi, that used to be a cool thing. You know, you had your local liquor store owner. I just told Hermes that today. I go, you know, like there's an Indian owner of a liquor store by my house that Hermes goes to. And he said he's been here since 2000. He's got a problem with the local Indian, you know, immigration. We always had those cool, you know, Arab smoke shop owners. The problem is there used to be one smoke shop in your city. that that cool Arab guy owned. That was like, Habibi, I get you what you want. You want the car? Do you want this? You want a weed? What do you want? And you're like, oh, Habibi, hey. And you're like, you have fun. And you're like, you know, there's like those videos like, I'm a white guy and I don't know culture, and you'd have fun. And then now, like, you go to like Wendy's, like, Habibi, what do you want? And you're like, oh, what the fuck is this? And they're like, hey, Vishnu is good to be with you. And you're like, no, okay, hold up. Let me go to fucking In-N-Out. And they're like, Hare Krishna, Hare. Okay, this has got to be okay. Let me go to Walmart. And you go, please don't tell me that you're fucking, you know, Hindu. Like, okay. Yo solamente hablo en español. And you're like, oh, fuck. You can't find a white guy. And it happened that me, Hermes, this white guy in the sauna today were the only white people. There's like 9 other people, like black and Arab and Indian. Mm-hmm. You know, now in South Frisco, it's 55.8% Indian. 55.8%. Fucking Indian. Ew. Gross. Stop that. Please. And Hermes is like, I didn't know that was that bad. Yeah, in our neighborhood here, in our I looked this up right now. It is literally right over 33% right here. It's 33.1, 33.4. I saw 2 different things on
Indian or white?
Indian.
Feels like a lot higher.
Well, they do have a community outreach program for you, Elijah. They're knocking on your door, leaving you cards saying they'll remove the spirits from your house. They will literally dress it down in cow piss. They will stop divorce happening. They can help your financial situation. They're promising you everything.
Well, I just want to say this real fast. That's our county. So we're in North Frisco. So like it could be 60% here as well.
Yeah, in the neighborhood, I think it's like
60.
I think it's like at least 80 in this specific neighborhood.
No, a lot of people are Arab. There's a lot of Arabs. There's a lot of Pakistanis. There's a lot of Pakistani Muslims.
They're all Indian to me, pal. Okay. They're all Indian to me.
Don't tell that to an Egyptian, George. He might cut you up. Have we got another guest in the house tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen?
No, we don't.
We do not.
That being said, shout out to Noticer I Am last night who sent $20 and our other YouTube super chat. We have a super chat from Commenting is Dangerous. Said, such a great guest. I always enjoyed it when he was on your show when you were in Australia. I hope to see him here more often. Keep up the good work. Absolutely. Shout out. Give him a couple of air horns there. That's really low. You gotta trump the sound effects on the levels there. No, you gotta just trump the slider.
We're going to put some stickers on there for you, George, so you know which colors are which sounds as well. You'll be fine, man.
All right, moving along.
That was very nice of you. Thank you very much for those kind words.
Yeah, everyone always liked him. Oh, hold up. Sorry. My bad. That being said, I gotta say, why wouldn't America like this? This is look. This couple quit their jobs to do. Can you take off the? We have triple split. You have to take the watermark off.
I know.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. Give me a second, please.
It's in my shop.
Jeez.
Is that a monkey?
Do you know that Brian can set it up?
Pulled it up.
Do you know Brian can have it that when you go to the triple split, it
we got
disappears, and then when you go back, it appears. It's crazy. This is, by the way, this is the same software and shit they use at Blaze and everywhere in Daily Wire. By the way, did you hear about Daily Wire's new sponsor today?
No, go ahead.
Mark Zuckerberg sponsored Daily Wire. Meta is now the new sponsor of Daily Wire. Meta. Yeah, Meta sponsoring Daily Wire.
Shapiro
what does Shapiro and Mark Zuckerberg have in common? Oh, their beds are both made of money.
He already had an incestuous relationship with Facebook. Like when everyone got banned during the COVID era, he was the only one that was able to survive. Yeah,
I'd pay to watch an incestuous relationship with his sister.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to talk about. I have, but I don't want to speak about her publicly.
Ben Shapiro's sister?
Oh yeah,
hot.
I had a good night. She was nothing but nice.
Oh wow!
And there were no pillows, but she gave me 2, and I was quite happy.
2 pillows, 1 cup. That's crazy. What the hell is going on? Speaking of OnlyFans,
what I do love is, George, when we're pulling up stories like this, you read the text and throw us into it and play the clip.
I do like that too. The producers that do that are usually good.
I do.
So let's see if they're good. So usually producers that know what they're doing do that, but producers that don't know what they're doing don't do that. What happened? What happened? Oh, okay. All right, check this out. Read this.
This couple quits their jobs to do OnlyFans. Look how much. I couldn't even.
Sorry.
Thanks, fucking.
What are you doing?
That was you. You did that. No one knows I'm doing that.
You sabotaging me.
Try it again.
This is crazy.
These couples quit their shit. Oh, I'm Georgia.
Let's quit our jobs and do
I have a mustache
full time and become millionaires. Look
wow.
At this.
I'm a loser and a groiper and I sit and press buttons. Wow.
Looking pretty good though here.
Are we pushing play
I like
or
the
we're not
glasses.
pushing
Hey
play?
everybody, I have a mustache.
Hey everybody, I have blonde hair. Look at me.
Hey everyone, Preston
look
Parra's
at my
blonde hair
dyed
too.
hair.
Preston Parra's blonde hair too. You're saying I'm like Preston Parra? Good for you.
Does
Good
the
for
carpet
you.
match the drapes?
It actually does. My dick is white too.
Check this out.
In love with the money, I ain't never letting go. And I get hard with my baby. I just love the mall, I'm getting flawed with my baby, yeah. And I get ride with my baby. I'll be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby, yeah. And
What?
They're making like $400,000 a month.
Yeah,
So-
that's all monthly payouts, right?
So do you know
Multiple hundreds of thousands.
Do you know who Candace Horvax is?
I do not.
Subscribe to her now, George.
Roger that.
Do you not know who that is? Don't go to my screen here. Don't go to my screen. I'm going to show you this from you, not from me. Okay?
Okay.
You know who this is. Do you know who Eva Lovia is? Don't put it on or we're going to get banned.
Okay, I'm putting
Do you
it
know
on.
who Eva Lovia? No, don't.
Okay, it's coming on.
Do you know who Eva Lovia is? She's one of the most famous.
I actually don't.
Oh, she's a friend of mine. She's one of the most famous.
Okay.
She's one of the most highly decorated AVN. She's Jewish.
She went to the good plastic surgeon.
Yeah. Well, you can see we're getting double teamed by black guys. I do like her a lot, but
Damn.
I'll say this. So I'm not talking about my sex life or anything, but I'll say this.
She does get
I
double
had-
teamed by black guys. I
Everyone-
like her a
hey, wait,
lot.
there was a season where everyone's like, "Why is Elijah having porn stars on his show?" And I was like, "What? What?" I was at Blaze. He was like, "Why is he having porn stars on his show?" And I was like, "They're porn stars." There was literally a time where I had like 6 different Playboy and AVN award-winning porn stars on my show, and everyone's like, "Why is he doing this?" I'm like, because they're
Hugh Hefner
politics.
come and
Because they're
bang down the
politics.
doors.
Because
Yeah.
they're really good.
Yeah.
Then everyone's like, Elijah slept with porn stars on his set. And you're like, no, that's crazy.
No, they rode Sabians.
No, that's crazy. That never happened. But no, but she was around and she showed me her OnlyFans at the time.
Damn.
Nice.
And but her earnings, they're not lying about this shit. I'm not gonna be rude and tell her financials to the world, but I'm gonna tell you, when you see people make hundreds of thousands, and by the way, she wasn't even doing nudes at the time. She was doing like lingerie, maybe it's like a little bit of nip slip stuff, making 6 figures, high 6 figures per month.
Ridiculous.
And it's like, that's crazy. And I remember that was the one time I let a bitch pay for my dinner.
Damn right. She has
She
to.
paid for my dinner. Did she invite me back to her hotel? That's
So the only
That was
question.
classified.
that never happened. I told you I have a roster. You'll never know, but she's not one, obviously, because I don't have a real roster. It doesn't exist. But I was gonna say, like, she's a great person. Actually, she's great. Why are porn stars great to hang out with? They're great. They're really understanding. They're like the boys, but with tits, and they want to fuck you, but you don't do it because
Ben?
you're a Christian.
Well, it might be because some men have been led to believe that they'll give out fellatio much like they would a glass of water. And so it makes them heaps easier to tolerate in close confinement if you think they're willing to satisfy your every single urge. Because they're out to put smiles on dials, right? Their
Yeah.
whole business is about pleasing people. So if you're hanging out with them and that's what they do, it'd be pretty rough for them to say, I don't want to do it with you. I just do it with everyone else but you.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why the hell am I here? But
Well, I think it's because porn stars, they're at least being honest that they're whores, whereas most other women, they're just whores and they lie about it.
No, but
And that's why we respect
But
them.
here's the problem.
well, if you pay for their dinner, they'll fuck you.
You get 2 types of women. So when you're married or in a relationship, you get 2 types of women. You either get a whore who's a whore for you, or you get a girl who's just a bitch. And women have this weird thing where like very few women end up being likable and sexually active when they're with you. Like, here's the thing. Like, I remember my lawyer told me, he's like, well, you can't really talk about not having sex in your marriage for like years. He goes, you can't really talk about that because your wife had kids. I go, imagine if like we had kids and I'm like, by the way, babe, I'm not paying for rent anymore. Sorry, it's just really hard to be a dad. We're not paying for rent. You got to earn your own stay in this home. Like, no one would be like, as a man, if you're like, hey, by the way, girl, I'm not paying for your shit no more because we got kids and it's stressful. It's like, no, You got to pay for her stuff even more as you have kids.
Yeah, it's the
She
opposite.
should be doing the opposite.
Yeah.
And it's like, she should be like, yeah, I'll suck your dick. I want you to stay more. We got kids. Please do not leave. Please do not divorce. Do not cheat on me. Do not, because women care about cheating. Men don't. Not with women, but like women make up this fictitious thing. It's like, oh, if you fuck another girl, it's over. It's just so over. It's over. I can't do this anymore. It's like, you weren't doing it when I didn't cheat. How about that? Most girls are not doing anything anyways. So it's like, you go into this like mode where they're talking like, well, I had a kid. I had a child. Oh, my
What is
gosh,
that?
let's get that shit out of here. I had a child.
Fanboys.
I had
in
a
the
child.
set.
It's like
That's
I
crazy.
love this shit. So
That's
like,
actually crazy.
They're like she had a kid, and she can't fuck you because she had a kid. Oh, your mouth had a baby? That's weird. Your mouth had a baby?
Sound effects. George?
I've never seen a mouth give birth. It's like, well, she's emotionally traumatized. I watched her vagina split open into a fucking Artemis 2 rocket launch pad. I'm fucking traumatized too. And also, I'm stressed out providing for more humans. It's like, oh, well, you're selfish as a man. Dude, the thing about women is like our society's gay and cocked. It's like, well, that's why you're going through divorce. Like, no, I'm going through divorce because I have in-laws who invaded my marriage and then tricked my wife into divorcing me. That's why I'm divorcing. But the reality is like, women just don't think past the next 15 days. They don't think past the next 24 hours. They don't think past now to the next 24 seconds.
Yeah.
Women don't think past anything. And
They are first degree thinkers.
They think in the now.
Yeah.
And it's not that's a bad thing. It's really nice when they're contained. It's really nice. It's like when you come home and like shit's bad and like you come home, you're like a black guy and you're like, baby, what happened? You're like, shit's rough, man. It's just hard. And they're like, oh my gosh, you want to watch Euphoria season 3? And you're like, can you just pour me like a whiskey and let's let's just watch fucking Euphoria season 3. And they're like, I read a new book and it was really good. And the werewolf raped the girl. And you're like, wow. I'm surprised you're telling me that the smut you're reading, because usually girls hide that from the guys, the smut they're reading. And it's like, you're not home enough. You're like, hey, bitch, shut up. Let's just drink the whiskey. And after 3 whiskeys, I'll listen to that. Like, give me 3 more whiskeys and then I'll listen to you talk about I'm not home enough. I'm sorry. I'm conquering the world, bitch. I'm conquering the world.
God forbid.
God forbid a nigga conquer the world and then I'm not home enough. Oh, I'm sorry. I conquered literally Naples, Italy today, bitch. What did you do? Well, I complained to myself and I cried. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for that. By the way, the kid that I birthed that you paid for, I had to do the bare minimum with him. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyways, suck my dick. But that's the problem. That's the problem with women today. Is like they're like I had to be a stay-at-home wife today. When you're a single guy, you're a stay-at-home wife and you're the man of your own life, and it's not that hard to do your own dishes.
I think men have convinced themselves to have far greater expectations of what their women will deliver them in regards to intellectual stimulation, when that has never been the case, gentlemen. And if you're looking for your woman to fulfill that within you, you're going to be always up against it. They're there to look pretty.
How do men
be nice?
How do men find purpose, Ben? If not,
I think through
with
struggle,
women.
you have to face adversity, you have to embrace adversity, and you have to know what you can overcome, and you also have to know what your limitations are.
You have to be mission oriented. You have to be focused on the mission.
You have to be doing something very uncomfortable every day.
Yeah.
Just so you can do it. That's
said.
really what it starts with. Start with uncomfortable, become comfortable being uncomfortable, then any other situation that arises in your ordinary life won't be an insurmountable challenge, and it would just be another daunting fucking prospect. But by that point, you'll be able to blast down mountains and you won't be deterred. You'll march on because there is no other option. You have to keep moving forward.
Well, speaking of moving forward, let's move forward with our news today. We got a lot, boys.
OJ Fuentes said hoflation. Let's go.
He said that today?
Yeah.
Right at the end of the show as well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read out every single person's name on Super Chat and regular chat for you all as well. So I'll spend a bit of time when we close down the show to go through and address everyone. I have missed you all and thank you for the nice messages.
Sometimes I'm reading the shows we're going through. I already know all the talking points, but I'm like, just like Israel bombs high school, Israel. I'm like, I hate Israel so much. I literally hate this entire I hate Israel. I hate it.
So you mentioned Kent Hovind before as well. So
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with who he is. I've watched that 40-hour session as well. But he did something phenomenal. There's other debates where he's hosting.
Ready for this? Ready for this? Here you go. Here you go. Watch this. Well,
Evolution. So I asked this professor if I could.
Okay, so the one we want to watch, hopefully this is the right one. The one we want to watch is he debated an atheist, and he gets up and he basically breaks down what space is and what time is, and in regards to who Christ is and what God is in regards to the creation of heaven and earth. And he's able to break it down pretty conclusively.
we don't have
and
those are hour.
concisely
It's an
as
hour
well.
and 42-minute clips.
No, the one I'm talking about is maybe
I'll
only
One of my favorite things to do is asking questions to people who believe in evolution. So I asked this professor if I could ask him some questions about the Big Bang. He said, sure, what would you like to know? I said, well, sir, you told me 20 billion years ago all the matter in the universe was squished in this little tiny dot, and it was spinning faster and faster and exploded. I said, where did all this matter come from? He said, well, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
I said, okay, now, sir, hold it. If I told you that I believe about 6,000 years ago God created the heaven and the earth like the Bible teaches, you're going to say, and where did God come from?
Yeah.
And I don't know. But you said 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang, and you don't know where the dirt came from. So basically, I believe in the beginning God, and you believe in the beginning dirt. Don't tell me my theory is religious and yours is science. Oh, no, sir, they're both religious. The news media tries to make it look like it is religion versus science. I did a debate in El Paso, Texas here recently, and the news media wrote an article. They said, religious and scientific leaders debate evolution. What is the unspoken message in that title? What are they trying to imply? Can you catch that? They're trying to imply that evolution is part of science, aren't they? No, evolution is a religion. Actually, both creation and evolution are inherently religious. I said, well, sir, would you please tell me where the laws came from? The universe is run by laws, gravity, centrifugal force, inertia. Who gave the laws? He said, we don't know that either. I said, sir, could you tell me where the energy came from? You know, it takes energy to make a big bang. Who bought the gas to run this machine anyway? He said, we don't know that either. I said, sir, could I ask you another question? He said, sure. What else would you like to know? Else? What do you mean else? You haven't told me nothing yet. I said, does Berkeley have a merry-go-round? How many of you know what a merry-go-round is? You go round and round until you puke, okay? He said, no, we don't have a merry-go-round at Berkeley. I said, you ought to get one. You could learn some good science on a merry-go-round. We're going to spin the merry-go-round clockwise. The kids are going to go through 4 phases. They start off in phase 1. They're screaming at the football players. Come on, let's go. Faster, faster. Can't you go any faster? You get up around 30 miles an hour. The kids enter phase 2, where they stop screaming. They just quietly concentrate on trying to hang on for dear life. You get up around 60 miles an hour. The kids enter phase 3, where they start screaming again. But now they're screaming, stop, stop, please, slow down. Don't stop, though. Keep going faster and faster. When you get to about 100 miles an hour, you should enter phase 4. That's where the kids begin to fly off the merry-go-round. Now, when this happens, you will notice a very interesting phenomena of physics. If the merry-go-round is going clockwise, when the kid flies off, the kid will be spinning clockwise until he encounters resistance, like a tree or telephone pole. That's because of a law in physics known as the conservation of angular momentum. You see, if a spinning object breaks apart in a frictionless environment, the fragments will all spin the same direction. It's very simple. It's because the outside is moving faster than the inside. And so it keeps the same direction of spin. The professor said, yes, I understand about the conservation of angular momentum. I said, well, good. I'd like to ask you a question then, sir. If the whole universe began as a swirling dot, like you said, why do 2 planets spin backwards? He said, that's interesting. I said, no, that's more than interesting. It's kind of hard on your Big Bang Theory. Not only that, 6 of the moons are spinning backwards. Why? He said, I don't know. Why do you think they're going backwards? I was hoping he was going to ask that. I said, well, sir, I believe it's very simple. You see, I believe in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, and God did it that way on purpose, just to make the Big Bang Theory look stupid.
Elijah, because he plays it.
Okay. So we're back? Okay, we're back. That was Kent. Obviously, Kent was incarcerated.
Picture, I have an old sky view of our...
So Kent was incarcerated because Uncle Sam took exception in what he was saying. I think some
that
people...
guy went to jail?
Very long
100%.
time.
Whoa.
Like 23-hour lockdown for
Yeah.
tax evasion, which was all
Wow.
bullshit. Basically, they were very concerned. He was able to make extremely persuasive arguments. He was firmly rooted in science with a correct understanding of science, so understood the scientific method, and was able to dismiss immediately any other scientists that wished to try to destroy him on the debate stage. As a result of that, I do believe at some point in time, someone federally flagged him and said this person might be too influential for us to deal with going forward. And we don't want another David Koresh or something
Is
like
he
that.
still in
on our
jail?
hands.
Or?
Look at what it says here. This is how you know it's kind of true. So this is Wikipedia. I'm telling you this right now. This is one of my mentors. These are the people who taught me about science. And I always won debates. And I can still win to this day, even though I haven't been in practicing for about a decade now. But Ken Hovind is an American young earth creationist and tax protester. You always know that it's bullshit when they start telling you that.
Yeah.
His ministry focused on denial of accepted scientific knowledge in the fields of biology, evolution, abiogenesis, geophysics, and cosmology in favor of literalist interpretation of Genesis creation narrative. Hovind established creation science evangelism in 1989 and Dinosaur Adventureland in 2001 in Pensacola, Florida. He frequently spoke on young earth creationism. Going down here, go down. He was, go down.
Well, Owen Benjamin believed in dinosaurs until Kent put him in touch with the right information.
Owen Benjamin?
Well, Owen Benjamin doesn't believe in dinosaurs any longer.
Well, I believe that
Not
they
one
are
60 million years ago.
No,
anyway.
I don't believe that either. Hovind was convicted of 58 felony counts. 58.
Yeah.
Wow.
In November 2006 and sentenced to 10 years in prison in 2007. Eric Hovind took over creation science evangelism. That got shut down
Did
for
he
a
serve
while.
all 10 years in prison?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
From what I understand, yes.
Didn't get it let out early on good behavior?
No trial, nothing. They raided him, just locked him up. He claimed he was a church and was exempt from tax. He's not a protester. Basically, so people know, he was like, oh, by the way, like we're like a ministry. You know, we're like he says we're religion, right? He says this is religion, and he goes, it's religion because it takes faith. And so what he was trying to prove, he wasn't trying to discredit his scientific claim. What he was trying to prove is that historical biology or geophysical science is a religion, right? So it was the equivalent of someone saying like, hey, look, I'm not a Holocaust denier. I am a historical revisionist. And someone say, what do you mean? It's like, I'm not a Holocaust denier. I'm not a political commentator. I'm a historian. I'm an educator. And you'd be like, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, I'm not a political commentator. I'm not trying to get people to vote Democrat or Republican. I'm just trying to challenge the pervasive narrative of the time as a historian, as an educator. So I'd like tax exempt status, right? I'm not a YouTuber. I am a historian. I'm an educator. I'm trying to educate people for free online. And I'm trying to be, talk to people about history and looking at the facts. And so I'm exempt from taxes. So he said, look, we're saying that science is religious. It's educational and religious because religion is educational, and we're exempt from taxes. And they came in and dude, look at it. Dude, they treated him like it was they treated him like he was the Waco, Texas.
Where is he
Branch
now?
Davidians.
Is he still active, or did he pull
That's
like
a good question.
Did he pull like a Pat Buchanan, where he's like, okay, I've had my day and it's over?
I think one argument he made, and it's literally made in under 3 minutes, where he demolishes a prominent atheist.
This was
at a university.
before Daily Wire and our, oh, well, hello, I don't know what I want to think. I'm kind of confused because I'm on benzo.
What is God?
Shout out
What is
Michaela.
God?
I'll come and spend another night with you soon. Just tell me when Tate's not there for another evening interlude, and I'll
Michaela?
stop on by. Yeah. Michaela went blonde the last time when I asked her.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping she'll do it again.
Yeah, I hope she comes over to the Ruth
So
house.
I DM'd you across on X a short clip of Kent Hovind and his most persuasive argument that he makes in regards to the existence of God and where did God come from. And I think it is a bulletproof argument that he makes.
What is it?
He sent you a link on X.
Oh,
to pull up.
bring it up.
Kent Hovind. Where did God come from? So he's up against a international gentleman who appears in America and has tried to convince Americans that God does not exist. And Kent perp walks him up onto stage and absolutely spanks him. But he does it with reason and logic and intellectual prowess. He's certainly well read, and I think he's term of imprisonment.
Well,
would
how do you know
only-
Kent Hovind? Such a deep lore.
Yeah,
The scientific community is
I'm
so
American, you know that, bro.
is so split on Kent. And Kent, I think he renounced his citizenship even to get out of America because his persecution was so bad for the federal government. They're trying to kill him for his lectures. And it's even pre-YouTube. He's pre-YouTube. And his lectures are on YouTube, I believe, and they get banned all the time. This is like up there with Europa. Like his lectures up there with Europa with getting banned. Someone should remaster them. If he's alive, we should fund him on Rift and have him redo his lectures in studio and talk about his evidence.
Yeah, I would love to have a conversation with him.
It's dude, he's so banned for his lectures on evolution that it's like it's insane. Listen to this.
So this is phenomenal. And we're going to deal with the
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from.
Schlitter, huh?
And in addition, once you've told me where God comes from, please try to clarify how you can figure that a spiritual force can have an impact on a material universe to create it. I think that some years ago we already talked about that kind of thing in philosophical circles at any rate by posing the question, if angels are made of spiritual matter, and a pen is made of material matter, and spiritual matter displaces no space, how many angels can dance on the tip of a pen? I have a sense of sort of reversal experience here, but please do, go ahead.
You've got 5 minutes. Now, I just want to know which question.
That's all right. You may take the rest of the minute.
We're supposed to do one question at a time. Which one would you like? That was part of the format for the debate. So which question?
I want you to fill in the story of the rest of the beginning of the universe.
It's a cool suit.
God, spiritual matter, impact on material matter.
Watch how he just
So,
bats
2
this
questions.
away.
All right.
Look at this.
All right, your question, where did God come from, assumes that you're thinking of the wrong, obviously it displays that you're thinking of the wrong God, because the God of the Bible is not affected by time, space, or matter. If he's affected by time, space, or matter, he's not God. Time, space, and matter is what we call a continuum. All of them have to come into existence at the same instant, because if there were matter but no space, where would you put it? If there were matter and space but no time, when would you put it? You cannot have time, space, or matter independently. They have to come into existence simultaneously. The Bible answers that in 10 words. In the beginning, there's time. God created the heaven, there's space, and the earth, there's matter. So you have time, space, matter created, a trinity of trinities there. Just, time is past, present, future. Space has length, width, height. Matter has solid, liquid, gas. You have a trinity of trinities created instantaneously, and the God who created them has to be outside of them. If he's limited by time, he's not God. The guy who created this computer is not in the computer. He's not running around in there changing the numbers on the screen, okay? The God who created this universe is outside of the universe. He's above it, beyond it, in it, through it. He's unaffected by it. So the concept that a spiritual force cannot have any effect on a material body, well then I guess you'd have to explain to me things like emotions and love and hatred and envy and jealousy and rationality. I mean, if your brain is just a random collection of chemicals that form by chance over billions of years, how on earth can you trust your own reasoning processes and the thoughts that you think? Okay, so your question, where did God come from, is assuming a limited God. And that's your problem. The God that I worship is not limited by time, space, or matter. If I could fit the infinite God in my 3-pound brain, he would not be worth worshiping, that's for certain. So that's the God that I worship. Thank you.
Yeah, so Ken Hovind mentored Dean Ortner, and Dean Ortner is my mentor. Do you know, this is actually true. The reason why I went to school, so I was homeschooled. I was considered heavily autistic gifted as a child, so I was homeschooled. I was not allowed to go to school because I was inaudible, uncommunicative.
They called it special education because it was special.
So I was till sixth grade. I was homeschooled because I was retarded, and I could not chew. I've mentioned this. Could not breathe while chewing, and could not breathe while speaking. And you watch videos from me as a kid, and I would do this week, and I would breathe in like home videos. I couldn't talk. I couldn't breathe. I didn't know how to breathe while talking. So that's a true. That's genuinely like we had retarded kids. In the 90s, we were retarded.
The speech pathology worked, Elijah.
It did work.
It worked very well.
Very effectively. And that's why Mindy Lavis, who is one of my good friends.
Shout out to Mindy.
Who's a speech pathologist. My best friend until I was 27 years old was a female who's a speech pathologist who helped me as my friend and helped me through life. And I love her very much. And she helped me to Christianity. So she's very, very nice for that.
Nice.
And I thank her for that. Not a sexual, not a weird relationship. She's a nice Mexican girl who was professional, who helped me, and we were good friends. And she really helped me through life. But that aside is Dean Ortner. Dude, he was so base. So he had this gifted program in LA, and that's how I came into it. It was expensive. I think at the time it was about $5,800 or $6,000 a year for the program. This is back in 2005. Maybe 7, somewhere around there. And my mom couldn't homeschool me anymore because I finished my programs in like a month or 3 months. I finished my whole programs. We'd be done, and she just didn't know what to do with me.
He was a whiz kid, George.
Well, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know. This is actually true.
Yeah.
So she didn't know what to do. And they go, Dean Ortner is retiring from teaching at universities, and he's starting this program in LA for gifted kids. And your son should join. And of course, my dad was a pastor. They couldn't do shit like that, at the time. And they offered to pay for it. They're like, we want to pay for your son at 6th grade to go into this program. That's how I got into school. We want to pay for your son to go in this gifted program. And it was so funny because we had after school science programs. That's what he did. But we also had normal private school programs. And there was he was, dude, based white guys, Dean Ortner. He would do lectures. And if people would talk during these lectures, he'd pause the video and he would go, Alyssa Tabazon, what's her name? She's so hot. He was like, thank you for talking. I just want to thank you because, everyone in this room is going to need someone to serve them burgers in the future.
Damn.
He didn't know about immigration, but
yeah,
he didn't realize that there was going to be non-white
One of
people in
those
LA.
ones, yeah.
I just want to say this. If you want to talk this lecture, I just want to thank you for making In-N-Out burgers at the best, maybe McDonald's burgers. We need fry cooks. We need fry cooks and janitors. And thank you so much for volunteering yourselves for these fields. Does anyone want to serve burgers the rest of their life? Because you should keep talking during the lectures if you want to serve burgers for the rest of your life. If you want to listen, like you had Nathan Tung, who was the other gifted guy who was there, a couple other retarded Jewish people that were there. And they would give these lectures, and it was like, he was just telling the truth. Like, hey, if you want to lecture during this, it was a private school, so it wasn't like, so it was it was called Whittier Christian Junior High. It doesn't exist anymore, by the way. I think it's a Mexican school now.
A teacher called Mr. Tung.
No, he was a student.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was interesting. That was before the cask stuff, but it was like some gifted stuff. And like, it was interesting because by the way, I have his book to this day, but it's like, look up Dr. Dean Ortner, look him up. I'm going to bring him up right here. Hold up. I'm going to show you guys. I'm not capping here. Watch, let me show you this.
These were the people who were extremely influential in Elijah's formative years when he was a young man that were making an impact on him. It did sound slightly passive-aggressive before we even knew the terminology, Elijah, the way he used to shut down interrupters in class. But, we've all been to a cinema with black people. I've been to at least one. And I didn't appreciate it because of the constant interruptions. So I can only imagine what it would have been when he was trying to impart wisdom and knowledge onto his impressionable young minds to deal with people who were insubordinate like that. Have we got him up, Elijah? Are we ready to go?
Yeah, look. Most of those in Dean's family are pilots, and he continues to enjoy flying at every opportunity.
Sweet.
Like his father before him, Dean also designed and built his own plane as a teenager.
Whoa.
This is my mentor.
Whoa.
He has worked with civilians in the military during the past 42 years as a science lecturer, presenting truths about the creator through his handiwork. Dean has flown high-performance fighters, T-34, T-37, F-18, and the Hornet, piloted nuclear submarines, and received close-up inspections of nuclear missiles and launch facilities in Florida and Alaska. His commission as Lieutenant Colonel, 92nd U.S. Army Airborne, added the red beret to his family. 2 of his brothers were in Special Forces, one as a brigadier general, and a green and black, respectively. Dean is also known as the Million Volt Man on the premiere of Ripley's Believe It or Not, witnessed by the largest viewing audience in cable television history, over 100 million.
Damn.
The live demonstrations have presented an early every continent in the world and in many dozens of countries and over 8 million attendees. And via network television, radiant energy, blah, blah, a common sight of millions military bases. Dean's Wonders of Science presentations have also appeared at several World's Fairs, Olympic Games, all military academies, Camp David, and the Pentagon, where he recently received a medallion from the General 11th Wing serving the president. So that's the guy who mentored me in school. So he took me on as his mentee, and that's who took me on and just mentored me and trained me in science.
So what happened to you? What went wrong?
Marijuana.
What are you talking about, bro?
Marijuana.
So where did it all go wrong?
Well, I know it's hard to believe, but according to these retards, I'm slightly like savant or something they say, like, you know, slightly.
You're smart, bro.
Slightly aprogenic, or like I learn by images. So like I don't have an internal monologue and I just like read things and memorize it.
Photographic
so I don't like
memory.
Yeah,
and
photographic
great
memory.
Spatial awareness as well. Spatial awareness on your IQ, I think you'd score off the charts.
No, I think I might be mentally ill.
For sure.
Jokingly. No, but like that's what's funny is like you have to so Dino Ortner taught me something very, very great about life. Like I think I'm the opposite of Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell this is a Pete Hegseth.
Like the Democrat version?
Yeah.
What, are your tattoos better than his?
Yeah, but Pete Hegseth like quotes like Pulp Fiction, and then like I'm like,
how the fuck did he
you're
get
like
that
smart?
wrong?
Pete Hegseth is actually
you
retarded.
actually have to make yourself retarded to be smart, because like no one likes, you know. And by the way, you want to ask yourself this: what was Dr. Dean Ortner doing mentoring 7th graders?
Yeah.
What does this make sense? You know what he said? That's when he got into science. And he said that science is best attributed. This is why I reach out to young guys. It's not to molest them, regardless of the media says I'm trying to molest young boys.
Blue,
the truth
stay
is
away.
why I reach out to young men, not even young boys, just young men, is because Dr. Dean Ortner taught me the best way to change the world is to find disenfranchised young men.
Yep.
Now we call autists, but
You need a chip on your shoulder.
Now they call them groypers.
Now we call them groypers. But you find disenfranchised young men, he taught me this, who are lost in the world, are hated by the women around them, feel like they can't communicate with the men above them, and they feel isolated in the group, and they feel like they have the brain power to change the world, and you tell them they do. That's what he said. Tell them they do. So you do have the power to change the world. Actually, you do. You're retarded and you do. Because the world was changed by very savant, very strange men that have always changed the world. And so he came out and he just changed my mind. And that changed me. I thought like my brother used to beat the shit out of me. My sister was mean to me. You know, I couldn't get any work done at home. And I joined this program and I found out that there was other people like me. There was other weird people who could change the world. That's all that happened.
If there's one individual that if you are shopping around looking for a mentor, you could actually put on your wish list, it would be a badass American former fighter pilot. And that's who that guy was. He had life experience at far different levels than most people would even achieve at one singular level. And so for him to walk into a room, immediately he would have commanded respect, but he also would have known young men. And I think by him reaching out to those young men who were disenfranchised, they're the best allies, because not only have they got a chip on their shoulder, they have a purpose to better themselves. And it's to prove all the haters wrong as well, Elijah. So I think that was divine in a sense, that you were linked up with him. And to think that you were given the speech pathologist as well.
Hey,
it's all required, right?
Let's not go back with a book club just yet. Let's go with the Kent Hovind local series of lectures, and let's do like a Sunday stream. It's like 6 hours. This is about a 2 hour stream, so it'd be about like 3 times as long. We're talking about it. Yeah. Let's do like a 6 hour stream on Sundays for like 6 weeks, going through like the first part of a series. But I'm telling you this, like, you know, yes, do I owe Gavin McInnes? Do I owe Glenn Beck? Do I owe Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin and a lot of these guys?
Michael Savage, Alex Jones.
Yeah. I owe them all. I owe them all a lot of my credit. But it's like Ken Hovind's the first guy who was like, he went to jail for this. You know, he went to jail for this. I remember that Kent Hovind was telling me he's going to jail for this. He's going to jail for his lectures.
For the word, man. He went to jail for the word. So when he gets up there and Christ says, "What have you done for me?" I think he's going to be one of the proudest amongst them to say, "This is what I did, and I suffered for you. I was imprisoned for you as well. They tried to defeat Christ in me, but he was able to withstand, and he gets through, and he earns his passage to eternal
Look, wait,
life.
he's around today. Look at this. Well, here's one thing. Watch this.
2 miles above sea level in the Andes Mountains. When they climbed Mount Everest, they found petrified clams on top of Mount Everest. Interesting thing about these clams, they're petrified and they're closed. Now, I'd like to point out, Mount Everest is a little ways from the beach, first of all, okay? About 450 miles to the beach.
It's a flood theory.
And clams do not climb mountains very well. And when a clam dies, it opens. You can walk along the beach and find a million seashells. You hardly ever find a matched pair. And you never find them closed if they're dead. They open right away. How do you get petrified closed clams on top of Mount Everest? I think there was a flood. But I don't think the flood was over Mount Everest. Mount Everest wasn't there. Psalm 104 tells us the mountains arose during the last part of the flood. The mountain ranges formed during the end of the flood. Probably as a result.
But here's today.
I'm probably the most hated man on the internet. I believe the Bible is absolutely true and scientifically accurate. God made everything in 6 days, about 6,000 years ago. There's 3 types of life forms on Earth. There's plant life, which has a body, but it doesn't seem to be aware of that it's alive. Then there's animals. Animals would have a body and a spirit. Man has a body, a spirit, and a consciousness of God that no animal has. God made man in his image. I ask atheists all the time, those who believe in evolution, how do you tell right from wrong? Where's your standard? What do you measure this by? They can't answer it. God said 24 times in the first 7 chapters, the animals would bring forth after their kind. But they make these stupid family trees and show the chihuahua and the whale having a common ancestor. That's not science. That's propaganda. And what's the purpose of life? Why are we here? Where are you going when you die? I ask people that all the time. If you died today, where would you go? Oh, back to the dirt. Are you sure? How could you possibly be sure?
So this is not a side swipe from what we've been talking about, but I'm saying
I'm probably the most hated man on the internet.
But Ken Hovind, I feel like this is actually why UNC has some data. By the way, so we'll cover the stuff tomorrow too. We have a show Saturday as
He's
well.
A real one. Ian.
Yeah, but I'm saying
He's
like
been a
this,
real
this
one
is where some nights you do give us data, but also I'm gonna say you're looking at the whole script and you're mad. You want to talk about more stuff. You're sitting there with the mustache, getting mad. There's not more stuff.
No, I'm looking at the chat here.
Sound effect.
What?
The local stream just ended. That's why I look so pensive.
Yeah, we have to figure that out.
We'll get it figured out, everybody.
Give Kent Hovind his props.
I already know what the
Elijah.
problem is. We should have met with them in Florida.
Wrap it up with Kent. Give him your
No.
props.
So the final thing with Kent is this: the reason why I do what I do is because there was maybe 3 kids in the classroom that cared about what Kent Hovind said in that classroom, and one of them's a very well decorated brain surgeon today. And even with Castle and Cata, some of them are in Senate, some of them are in government, very high up government officials. This is not helping the accusations. I have been hand selected and very much in programs and in things to make sure that I am a gifted, well thought out individual who contributes to society. And those programs are from a young age. And I have been selected since I was seventh grade. And I've been involved in programs that have been paid for, not by my family or by me, and have been paid for by government or people. And I have been in speech pathology and things paid for by CATA, California Association of District Leaders Association. Shout out to Sandy Hook, who was a lesbian, I think, who helped me overcome my fear of speech to speak in front of. I worked for Gavin Newsom when I was 18, and I showed people pictures of that today. I worked the Democratic Alliance of parties, and I've been around.
You did have a lot of access as a young man, Elijah.
Yeah, they did train me to be a Democrat.
Out, like maybe on your deathbed.
I was trained to be a Democrat. You know, it's true. I was trained to be a Democrat. Political
the
person.
CIA wanted you at 18, but you're a Mockingbird operative for them now.
I was trained. I'm open about
media.
that. I was trained to be a Democrat operative from when I was a young age.
Damn straight.
Well, yeah, I used my training. I was trained, and then I realized that they were a lie, and then I went to Republican, and then I realized Republicans were just working for Israel, and so was the Democrats, and now I just oppose Israel because I realized that I'm retarded and could speak the truth too. And I just realized that, just because I was trained and my family's from the government, doesn't mean that I'm not honest about who I am. And I'm very transparent about that. And people, can't discredit me from that. So they call me a rapist or a pedophile or an assaulter or whatever they want to say these days. But it's all bullshit, because it's like what they're mad about is I use their training, their education, their programming to fight them.
Yeah.
And it's the same way that anyone does that.
And rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Schaffer would be making $3 million a year if he would read only what the teleprompter told him to, and if he was willing to sell out your country. And that would be a low estimate. That would have been probably his first contract, and now he might even be at 10 mil plus a year, with a fast track to taking over when Hannity departs and Greg comes up and a few other guys. So, yeah, Elijah's paid a price for maintaining his truth and for wanting to speak truth to power.
A price? I'm poor nigga. They took everything from me.
Yeah, well, that only means you can build it up again, because they can make a wise man broke, but they will never snatch away his wisdom. And so, Elijah, you'll carry that going forward, and that's why I think they do come for you, because they know how effective you can be and what damage you can do to them. And so they're trying to extricate out of the social media sphere anyone that can do damage to them, but they lost the argument long ago because it was never America first. And so all they've done is expose themselves. But yeah, people ask me all the time, hey, he was obviously MK Ultra'd. Why don't you just remove the chip? And I said, if I knew where the chip was, maybe I could retrieve the chip. But unless Elijah presents himself and bends over,
people have seen,
it's not going to happen anytime soon.
People that live here have seen how almost effective people that have tried to destroy me have been.
Yeah.
And it's psychological. I'm telling you guys this right now. I did not give in to a lot of force factors to relay the truth. And we also, the Jewish Congress, say they take your kids and your wife and things. And I just went, oh, that's funny. That's crazy. They do that. And they did that. And then I'm like, that messes you up. I'm going to be raw here. When they take your kids from you, like, to be clear, I might be the only person besides Kanye West I know publicly who had his kids taken from him from hearings that neither myself nor my legal team was privy to be a part of. So there was legal hearings, 3 of them, that I was not privy to be a privilege to be a part of.
Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen.
It's crazy.
There's a very important court proceeding that's upcoming, which is going to impact your life forevermore. Now, naturally, you would clear your entire schedule so you could be present there on that day. And unfortunately, our friend was denied and deliberately deprived an opportunity to present there on that day with his legal team, because the people bringing the case against him thought that would give them some type of advantage if he wasn't there on the day. But all of this is going to come to light, and those people are going to find themselves in deep, deep trouble for doing so, because it certainly was not fair, it was not even, it was not balanced, and 2 sides of the story were not able to be told, so justice could not prevail.
Correct. And I'll say this before we go to the topic, is like, it's kind of interesting. And we are ending this stream differently this time with like the actual title of the show. But it's to get you to watch the whole time. But it's kind of interesting because I've never been in a situation where I've had a court rule against me that's not even in jurisdiction. By the way, the court that published that stuff is not a jurisdictional court. It's not even the jurisdiction of our divorce. Like, it was form shopped and put to a different state, and they were lied to about what court had jurisdiction. It's like, it shows me that, the legal system is very cooked. And I have to laugh at it. I have to just kind of joke a little bit, because you realize that law just means how much money do you have to defend yourself. Because anyone can say anything about you anywhere in the country and fuck your life up. But if you want to have a good life and a whole life, then you've got to make sure that you have a full legal team and $300,000, or you're dead in the water. Or in Trump's case, a couple $1 million.
Well, it's the old adage as well, Elijah. If you want justice, are you willing to write a check large enough to attain justice?
Yeah, that is the joke.
And
how big's your check? You want justice? How big's your check, nigga? That's the joke. And where's your checkbook?
And that doesn't mean you necessarily win, because OJ won, but he won big on the back end because he got payouts and everything else in the book deal. But then he was arrested for minor charges, and he's now incarcerated for a period of time. And many people think that's rightful retribution for the justice he escaped years before. But yeah, Elijah's been up against it, but he hasn't been deterred. Like, this guy's a fucking warrior. He's 1776 tattooed across his heart. Absolutely bleeds red, white, and blue. And so his adversaries, they must be going home and not, what the fuck? but we did this, we did that. And they're literally having all hands on deck meetings saying, but we threw this against him and that destroyed X, Y, and Z. And we threw that, so that took out this other caliber of people. Guess what? He's bulletproof. And you've only made him stronger. And to try to use his family against him demonstrates the weakness of you in the first place. You are on very hollow ground to start off with. It wasn't a solid foundation of which you built your litany against him and tried to take him out with a dossier. And the dossier was fabricated in large part, and it was spliced together, and it was presented to the wider public as something other than what it actually was. And that's an indictment on you and the people who produced that. And you'll have to live with that, but you're in the muckraking business, so rest assured, you'll have your comeuppance soon enough. But yeah, Elijah's here and he's bounced back and he's got the boys around him. Most importantly, he's one of God's children and God has plans for Elijah as well. So I do believe that God will put him in the right place going forward and eventually he will attain success and he'll look back on all this and think, can you believe how crazy it was? And another thing I've said to Elijah, I've said it's better to get rid of all your scandals now in your early 30s than have them come and visit you and destroy whatever career you've created for yourself when you're 45 or 50. You know, no one wants to be Benny Johnson right now.
We'll be here for the next 40 years, everybody. 40 years. You can't get rid of us.
Oh, and George, how many more of your stories did we have on the show? Another 10 or so to go through? Because when Elijah wants to bounce...
we had about 20 to go, but we're going to conclude on one.
We have big shows this Friday and Saturday.
We had a whole timeline, but it's okay. I think tonight's show is actually good.
No, but people
sometimes it's nice to spin off and talk about more personal subjects. It actually works.
The creation stuff that's unique to this show. Like you're not gonna get that anywhere else.
I'm not upset about it.
You're not gonna get creation.
We're doing well tonight. I like the show.
Nobody's willing to defend creationism on air except for me. I'm the only person besides Kent Hovind that does that.
I'll defend it every day of the week.
Are you young Earth or no?
100%.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were like an old Earth guy. I'm a young Earth guy.
If they argue with me, they can take the argument up with God. Because
talk to the big
it's
man.
not my argument, man.
Yeah.
If they want to disprove it, they can take it straight to him.
I'm an extreme young Earth creationist. Extreme.
Radical.
And the fact that I've debated doctors, and I would debate scientists, because they'll say things to me like, like for instance, like the well, I don't want to go into it, but in terms of like expansionary theory, like even cosmos, talking about like, expansionism in terms of the red Earth or red star theory and moving on, and you're like, well, we have different interpretations, but we come from a different basis. And, as I mentioned, for people that are new to the show, maybe it's your first time watching, it's like, in the wedding of Cana, we have to admit that Jesus turned water into wine.
Yeah.
And it was the best wine, which means it was aged like 15 to 20 years. So if God took grape juice, could age it into wine instantly, and if you carbon dated the wine or, just end it there. So you would have seen under scientific theory that it was 20-year-old wine, but it was made instantaneously. And if you can't accept that God can change matter instantaneously, then you don't believe in God. You don't believe in God because God can change things. Just like you can solder a new chip onto a motherboard, you can put RAM into the motherboard. Whether it's a 4-port, 2-port, or 1-port, it doesn't matter. Some people it's going over their head, but it's like you said, a computer system is contained. It's got its programming. And one time someone told me, I asked him, I said, what is the program? The Orthodox might disagree with this, but I said, what is the program? If we're computer chips then, and God is the programmer, then what is the 1 and what is the 0? He goes, the 1 is the Lord's Prayer and the 0 is Psalms 23. So the 1 is the Lord's Prayer and the 0 is Psalm 23. Georgie? Wow. You were really slow on that one.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That's actually fair. I'd say that's fair. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
But I wouldn't, I don't know if I would simplify it that much.
I just asked that question. It was a simple answer.
Yeah,
they told me the 1 is the Lord's Prayer and the 0 is Psalms 23. Like, just like, that's what it is. It's like, if you say those two things together, you're in a very complete understanding.
Psalm 23
of God.
or 22?
Psalm 23.
Which one?
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He
oh,
makes
yeah.
me lie down in green pastures, shows my soul. He makes me lie down in green pastures. It's like, yay, the work, the value of death, I'll find over for you are with me, your honest stuff, the company, your praise.
Look at that recall, everybody. Look at that.
You're with me, your honest stuff, the company. Yeah.
Anyway, we have
I
one
can
more,
remember most things. I can remember my reading from today. I can
one more
remember
thing to
almost
talk
everything,
about.
Unfortunately. That's a problem. And that's why I have nightmares every night. Because I live with Georgie and I remember it. It's horrible. It's like, you fucking retard faggot. All right. So, lastly, the final topic, which is the topic of today's show. It's kind of incredible. So, MAGA is dead. It's not good. 350,000 Haitians were gifted protectionary amnesty or protectionary status. Watch this.
Seven Republicans voted on this.
On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 207. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The chair will...
Yeah,
It's like, what the fuck? This is, I got what I voted for.
You
How about
didn't vote.
I did vote, actually.
So we had 214 votes for rejecting the temporary protectionary status for Haitians. 350,000 of them in the Midwest and in Florida. Now there's 30% of 1 million people in this country that are just ugly ass Haitians. Haitians are disgusting. I hate
We already
Haitians.
had 10 million immigrants come in since Biden started his term, and now we have an additional 350
more than that.
thousand
more than
Haitians. Haitian is like
22 million came out.
But this has to
Biden.
be one of the worst types of immigrant too. Like, they are in a different category. These are the rapists. These are the killers. These are the drug addicts. These are the people patrolling the streets at night on crack, like fucking doing jumping jacks and shit. Like, this is the Haitians and the Somalians. Why, like, in what world is this a good idea? And in what world is this for the interests of the American people? I don't see it.
Because the white man will still go to work at night.
But like, how does this even benefit? Like, how
because
does
the white man will go to work and pay his fucking taxes. He'll go to work. He'll have his 2 kids. He'll get divorced, have his shit taken. He'll go back to work, start a new business. He'll still run the fucking machine. He'll get shit treated by women.
Why do they care so much? Like, what is their prerogative here?
Because we can never be united with the Haitians in our country.
Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what they
They
did.
moved
in
to the
Germany.
Midwest. Yeah, it's divide
They
and
did that to
conquer.
the UK.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you think that they're all operating under that distinction, under that impression, or do you think they're voting a certain way because their Israeli donors are telling them to?
Yes.
Do you think they
and
actually
yes.
understand the Great Replacement
No.
theory? Yeah, I don't think so either.
Have you ever met a congressperson? Have you ever had dinner
have.
with? Have you ever like sat down and had lunch with a congressperson? They're the dumbest fucking people you ever meet.
I've met a few potential ones.
You met Lauren Boebert?
Did I meet her? Was that?
You ever met Marjorie?
No.
You ever met anyone? Congress?
I've met candidates running. but
They're
that's
like Candace Owens with political power.
So, but who is telling them to vote nay on this or yay on this? It's like who?
Oh, it's exhausting. I'm tired. Like, whoa, this is so obvious. It's like,
No, but it's like it's. I don't even imagine it's the Israel lobby. Is my point. It's like
let me tell you how bad this
like
is.
why would the Israel?
Let me tell you
lobby
how bad this
be-
is. Brandon Strzok, head of the Walkway movement for he's gay. He's white. He's very gay. Very white. Very gay. I ran into him at CPAC. And he was like, "What the fuck is going on with our movement?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, dude." And I had Lady MAGA walk up to me and say, "These people are not with us." And I go, "With us? What are you talking about? That's insane."
Yeah.
Who's us? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Lady MAGA? His name is Ryan, by the way. It's like, "What's up, chud nigga? How you doing, 7 foot tall fucking Goliath ass fucking Ryan nigga?" And he's like, "They're not like us." I'm like, the fact that the two people I related the most to at CPAC was Brandon Strzok and Lady MAGA made me want to slip my wrists. And I did try, and you stopped me.
Yeah.
But it's also come to the point to where this shit's so fucked up, dude. It's so fucked up that, whipping votes is crazy.
I just don't understand where it's coming from. Like, I think saying it's Israel or the Israel lobby, I think that's a little bit too much of a generalization.
Womp, womp.
Is that what you think? It's just Israel lobby? What do you think, Chad? I'm actually interested.
It's preventing.
I want to get your takes on
They're
this.
preventing Balkanizations. They're preventing whites from Balkanizing.
So it is the Jewish lobby that's creating this in our politicians, this idea that you have to put immigrants in the country, Haitian immigrants. You need to keep the 350,000.
I didn't say APAC. I didn't say it was APAC.
Just Jewry,
Jewish communists. Yeah,
world Jewry.
I didn't say it was APAC. I didn't say it was pro-Israel lobby, right? And so you said Jewish, not Israel. I didn't say it was the Israel lobby doing this. It's not the Israel lobby, but it's Jews, but not the Israel lobby. That's why you're like talking shit. It's like, no, it's the Israel lobby. I'm a lobbyist. I've admitted this. I'm a lobbyist. I was,
but
I'm not
there
anymore.
was an old plan.
I'm a lobbyist.
I don't
I work
remember
as a
what it's
lobbyist.
called. You'll probably
it's
remember.
Jews every time, dude. It's all Jews.
There was like a Soviet plan to invade all the Western. What's it called? Kalergi plan.
Kalergi.
Is that what this is?
Kalergi, but yes.
So it comes from the Jewish Soviets, the Bolsheviks.
Yes,
okay, well, there you
Polish,
go.
but yes, but it's Jews. It's Kalergi, and it's not really as
trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it always rounds.
Hey,
up to,
Blue, do you want to lecture me on molecules?
This guy says George Soros, my GOP. Something happened after World War II. The greatest generation didn't pass down any wisdom to the boomers. Okay. Well, what do you say, Elijah? You want to sign off here? It's a good place to sign off. You look upset. What's wrong?
Well, I just really love Jews, and I'm mad they're not winning. I'm mad the Jews aren't alive. We got to have some more fun stuff in this content. I want to play some videos before we end here.
Okay.
Everyone's like, I want some more fun stuff than what he was doing. And it's like, yeah, me too, nigga. I don't like all the sad stuff. It makes me angry.
Overlord
here you
says,
go.
on the left you get George Soros, on the right you get Bibi Netanyahu. True.
Look at this.
What must be done leaves no room for hesitation. El Salvador banned the Edgar haircut, a bowl cut style with straight bangs in public schools as part of restoring discipline.
Not a joke. I was there when this happened. It was one of the funniest things I've ever been a part of.
When they banned it?
Yeah, because what happened is, listen to this.
Yeah.
What happened is, this is actually realistic. So the United States actually found, do you know why styles go out of fashion?
I think people just get tired of it.
Nope.
What do you mean?
Nope. Styles determine behavior, and styles are introduced to program behavior always, and they phase out styles to bring in certain behaviors. And that's how the industries work. Styles are meant to influence behavior, not the opposite.
So it's like an example of that would be like
spiky hair,
the rise of hip hop culture.
Spiky hair
it made white men wear baggy
spiky
clothes.
hair made white guys uncontrollable, so they squashed it. Bleached hair, spiky bleached hair, made white guys rebellious, so they squashed it. It had a 3-year reign, 2000 2003, and it made white men rebellious. They squashed it.
I just think of like Sum 41.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
Great band, by the way.
When they started doing Edgar haircuts started in the U.S. and they started doing Edgar haircuts in El Salvador, they started forming groups to bully kids in school who were sympathetic toward Bukele's government. And
So the Edgar haircuts
started forming gangs in the school based on Edgar haircuts. So they banned it. Fuck you. Get a normal haircut. Be respectful to your elders. You're a Mexican. Goodbye.
We
And
need
it
like the
fixed
North
problem.
Korea standard. Where
Yeah.
You get like 10 different options.
It worked. It worked. I saw it at work. I'm just saying I saw it at work. Also, speaking of faith, check this out. Did you know Gregory Baum, by the way, I largely did not convert towards
Did you
Catholicism because of Vatican II.
Gregory Baum was a Jewish convert to Catholicism who became a priest. He was one of the architects of Vatican II. He drafted Nostra, how do you say that? Atate? How do you say it? Atate to declare the old covenant still valid and the end of the church's mission to convert Jews. He left the priesthood afterwards. What the fuck?
Born a Jewish mother and Protestant father, and he left the church after Vatican II. So he was gay and Jewish, joined the church to push Vatican II, and then left the church after. I told you Vatican II is gay and Jewish.
He didn't push Vatican II. He
What's
pushed Nostra Aetate, which is
hop in the chair there.
Vatican
explain. Well, look,
attacking the church.
I am a Protestant convert to Orthodoxy. I was baptized Catholic, but I never really attended Catholic church. Explain the difference between Vatican I and Vatican II. What happened there?
No. I'm not going to explain the difference between that.
This is blue, by the way.
Go read
Look
the
at that.
book, okay?
Well, just briefly, like what?
No,
Why is this
Nostra
so-
Aetate is a separate
My question is,
document
why is
from
this so
Vatican II.
significant?
It was pushed at the same time as Vatican II, so people roped them in. It's also the same document that has us pray for Jews on Good Friday Mass.
Is that Vatican II innovation?
It's part of Nostra Aetate. And Vatican II is Vatican II is sort of separate. Nostra Aetate is its own document. It's just one document. People
Guitar-
act like Vatican II is all Nostra Aetate.
Guitar MG gave us $5. He says,
It's not true.
He says, great show tonight, guys. He's an SOB, it looks like. Thanks, man. There's your confetti. Let's get some air horns. Guitar MG. Thank you. Back to you, Blue.
You know, if you don't like it, Elijah, if that's why you didn't become part of God's church, maybe you should become part of God's church to change it. Like you said, you can change anything.
We did. It's called the Orthodox Church.
The Orthodox Church didn't do that.
Christ.
The Orthodox Church
we never,
is its own thing. You're like no better than Martin Luther. You're going to go make your
Whoa,
own thing because
no, we didn't.
You're going to make your own thing.
Whoa.
We were before
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Catholic Church. We had a
We were
split in
all part of
74.
one council. How are you going
Yeah.
to say the
We were
Orthodox Church
one
is a new
council, bro.
It was a-
Listen,
we are
this
one
is about
council.
what is this show about? Is about Jews.
No, it's
Okay,
the
not.
Pope of Rome.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
is.
not. I love
Every
Jews.
subject matter of this show goes back to Jewish control of our
The
politics.
Pope of Rome split off from the council.
Nostra Aetate is a political document.
He says the council split off from him. The Orthodox Church, let's just get that straight. It is not a new innovation that happened after the Great Schism. It has been part of one
Nobody
united,
cares.
Holy
Nobody
Apostolic
cares.
Church. See, that's the problem with Catholics.
We have the bones.
You guys can't even listen
We
to
have
the
the bones.
arguments because you know you're wrong.
No, it has nothing to do with. Nobody cares if you're
Yeah, well, that's a
apostolic.
problem, right?
That doesn't matter.
Nobody cares. Isn't that's kind of the problem, right?
No, the problem is that you split off and did your own thing, and you have 100 different Orthodox
You
denominations
didn't
because
split
it's
off.
basically dependent on if you declare this patriarch or this patriarch says something you don't like, and now you can have abortions or you can not have abortions, and you can. It doesn't. You know, it's all wishy washy.
No, our council, you can't change any liturgical anything unless all the ecumenical, unless
Yeah, but it's not
unless all
liturgical.
the patriarchs agree on a liturgical change, then nothing can be changed. That's why the Orthodox Church is so ancient, and that's why the Catholic
No.
Church was able to even do Vatican II because they didn't have any
But it
other
also
bishops to
it
answer
also
to.
reduces your ability to respond to modern problems like the Orthodox Church currently does with abortion. It's failed to combat the abortion pill. It's failed to combat contraception. All of those things are all over the
Newsflash,
fucking place.
Abortion,
It's all over the place.
Abortion is
Can
legal.
you do it? Can you
in
not?
every country, every Western country, and all the Western countries
I'm not talking about
historically
that.
have been Catholic. So was
No,
it
that's
the
not
Orthodox
true.
Church that failed? Well, I'll tell you this:
America's the land of the free
in the Eastern countries
Masons.
that practice Orthodoxy, abortion is still illegal and always has been. In the Western countries where Catholicism reigned,
Where?
abortion is legal.
Where are you referencing?
The Holy Roman Empire. It's like all those
Abortion's
nations.
legal in the Holy Roman Empire?
Yeah,
What do you-
today,
what?
all those nations.
We are not under a Catholic state.
You're missing my point. All the nations that were historically Catholic have legalized abortion. All the countries that were historically Orthodox still no abortion. Why? Because we didn't innovate.
The
So it's like you're saying Orthodoxy
country that
can't
invented
combat-
abortion,
You're saying Orthodoxy can't combat
the Soviet
modern-
Union, is the country that and Soviet China, but that's they work together. That's your Orthodox nation.
What are you talking about?
The Soviet Union made innovations in
my
abortion and
God.
abortion pills.
Oh, what is the brown guy saying to me? Hello,
No.
dude's aunt. How are you watching this? Listen,
All you scared to death Orthodox Protestants out there, just sit down, shut up, let the Catholics, at least these people are claiming to be Catholics.
Hey, Whiteys.
All the Protestants, let's not forget.
in Europe.
No,
Let
nothing.
The Browns
This
tell
is
you
the
how to
Jews.
live. The Browns and Sarah Stock have a message for you.
No.
And it is follow the Pope or be like me.
It has nothing to do with being brown. It has everything to do with being right and being united with the Holy Spirit in the Eucharist of Christ.
Why are you so sensitive about the brown stuff, dude? It's a joke. Relax. It's a joke.
I'm not sensitive
Everyone
about the brown
cares
stuff.
that you're brown.
I'm sensitive
Relax.
about the
He's
truth of the
white.
Eucharist in communion with Rome as Christ intended it. That's what I'm sensitive
Why
about.
is it that the Orthodox
Look,
respect the
I
Catholic
think the
Church?
Catholics-
The Catholics don't respect the
The
Orthodox
Catholics and the
Church.
Orthodox need to give up the beef. Is my position.
No, it has nothing.
My opinion, too.
It has
They need to
nothing to do with
reunite.
that.
I think
you're saying you're bringing up Nostra Aetate, which is a single document that he's saying he left Christ Church because of a document. That's like if you left.
No, it is a fair thing.
So there's a Catholic explanation that kind of settles both your arguments. This it goes like this: I am brown.
What are the Orthodox doing to stop Israel? What are the Orthodox doing to protect the Holy Sepulchre?
Brown.
I don't know.
Sepulchre brown.
Russia declared Israel.
You have a Jewish religion. It's a spiritually Jewish religion that is separate from Rome. So Jewish versus brown.
When did Rome? Dude, the Pope doesn't even agree.
The Catholic
Pope doesn't
Church
agree with
was
you on
in
that.
debt to the Jewish bankers way more
You don't
than the
care what the Pope
Orthodox
says.
Church.
You're talking about debt?
How did they build all their churches? It was debt by Jewish bankers.
That's incorrect. Entirely
okay,
incorrect.
correct.
It was through the purchase
Let me
of
explain to you-
indulgences,
Let
famously.
me explain to you Blue's position. Ready
It
for
was
this?
the purchase of indulgences.
Look at ChatGPT. Has the
Blues
Patriot-
complicating this.
has the
Listen,
Catholic Church ever taken money
Blues
from Jewish
complicating
bankers?
this. Here's what he means to say. I am brown.
Not true.
Brown. Pope Brown. Brown. The Holy Mosque is sacred. Pope said brown. Brown.
You know, I actually agree
The
with
Holy
that.
Mosque.
I agree with what the Pope did, and this is where we'll agree. Actually, the Orthodox community online is.
He's getting pressed. I like this.
I'm not pressed.
No, he's getting pressed.
The Orthodox community online.
I'm pressing him, and he's like,
I'm just
come
pressing
out
you
against
back.
The
Fuck!
Pope.
He's so mad.
The Pope did some prayers in a mosque, and I actually kind of like it. I think it's a good message. Actually, I think it's very Christ-like. Christ he didn't want us to go to war with each other and kill each other. And instead, he wanted us to have dialogue, and he wanted us to resolve things without violence. And the Pope visiting these mosques and going into these places and praying even, it is a statement of what Christianity is. And it's not that he's endorsing their God as our God necessarily. I think he's just endorsing communication and endorsing friendship, potentially. Because we don't need to be enemies. Why would we be enemies?
You're already bombing them.
Yeah, I know. So his message is a message of peace. It's a message I think is very Christ-like. I don't understand the Orthodox hate on this.
I think
everyone's hating.
I think
on
you're
him.
offended, overly offended. I'm simply stating that it's literally retarded to leave the church over one document.
The church.
Well, it wasn't one
Orthodox.
Oh yeah, that doesn't matter to you guys.
Orthodox-
Oh, that's right. You don't care about
They left the
unity
church.
because you have 100 different
They left the
patriarchs.
church over
Of course, you don't
innovation.
care about what being a unified
Oh
church.
my gosh, you left us, and we've been sitting here saying, "Come home,
Really?
come home." Yes, that's
Well,
the
that's
whole
the
point.
argument.
Rome is
Yeah.
still where
You
it
guys say we
geographically
split
is.
off,
Where's
we say
your
you
Rome
split off.
exactly? What happened to Constantinople?
Whoa,
I-
see,
I
that's such
think-
a low blow.
I can't
Such a
remember.
low blow.
Can
Well,
somebody
I'll
tell me
you.
in the audience?
Yeah, it's in
I don't-
Moscow now. Moscow is the new Rome. They inherited it after they
here's
protected the
deal,
church
Here's the deal.
from the
I-
Turks who invaded Greece.
I have a good answer for this.
No, look, Jesus is king. I love the
Let me ask
Orthodox,
you this.
but
Where's
you guys
the-
have to be put down.
Where's
a
the
little bit.
Third Reich? Since they were wrong,
The Pope was the one who endorsed the Third Reich.
Since Hitler,
There would be
was-
no Third Reich without Rome.
Wait. Since Hitler was wrong, since you just said Hitler was wrong, you just equivocated Hitler was wrong and the Nazi Germany was wrong. You just said Hitler was wrong because they don't have a home base. Where's Hitler's? No, yeah, you just said that. You said a group does not have a capital because it was conquered. Where are they now? Because white people should not have a homeland. Where is the white homeland? Tell me this right now, because we shouldn't have a homeland.
Rome.
You're arguing that white people should have
Rome
a
is the
homeland.
white homeland.
Oh, really? Because it's not today.
100%.
It's like Turks and fucking Caicos. It's a fucking bitch fit. Don't even talk to me about Rome. Rome is fucking flooded with African migrants. Tell me right now.
Better than Constantinople,
No.
whatever
you
that
have
is.
to stand on this. You got to stand on this argument.
Better than whatever.
No.
What is it
Fuck
called?
you.
Istanbul?
Stop. No. Stop now. So Istanbul, sure, I'll concede that to you. It is Istanbul. Actually, it is. And it's actually one of the great mosques of the world. Okay, cool. Great. Thank you. I conceded that to you. So since the Orthodox don't have a home in Istanbul, it's crazy hearing a Catholic call it Istanbul. It's kind of sacrilegious.
Where's the Holy Roman Empire again?
Sacrilegious?
Wait, because that was the head of the Holy Roman Empire forever.
Where is that?
That's crazy. That's crazy to hear a Catholic.
Not even the right empire. You're not even talking about the right empire.
Yeah,
it was never the
Eastern
capital
Empire,
of the
it's
Holy
split.
Roman Empire.
Yes,
Doesn't
yes,
even
it
know
did.
history.
Yes, it did.
Doesn't
It
even know
split.
history.
Oh, it's split, and it's arguable in all history it was.
The Byzantines.
Byzantium, yeah.
No, the
Yeah, we
Byzantines
all
is a
know.
later architectural fucking dictionary framework that was adopted by fucking
Well,
modernists.
it was Eastern,
Shut up.
Eastern
That's-
Rome and Western Rome.
Yeah, shut
That's
up.
what it was.
It was all Rome. And everyone knows it was Rome. It's like, what are you, from the South or the Northeast? What are you, fucking from Mississippi or from New England? And it's like, that's America, you fucking nigger. Listen, okay, relax. I'm gonna ask you this right now. Since you mocked the capital,
I'm the one that's pressed, though, right?
of the Eastern European. Well, yeah, because I'm the one pressing you. I want to ask. I want to know. Shake that ass, Shakira. Tell me right now, since these are not the real church and there's no Eastern and Western Roman Catholic, which we actually believe we're all the Catholic Church. We believe we believe they're all the Roman Catholic Church. We got divided in a great schism in the East
Not
and
the
the
Roman
West.
Catholic Church. We believe it's the Holy
Oh,
Catholic.
No. I'm using his
No, he's
phraseology.
he's
It
talking
is
about
the
a
Holy
different
Catholic
patriarch.
and
He's under a
Apostolic
different
Church.
patriarch than you. So actually, you guys have totally different religion.
No.
Look, hold up.
No. I'm using his.
They can't even agree.
He's a catechumen.
No.
of
But
three
I
months.
know your history maybe
A
more than you.
catechumen of
No,
Archbishop
That one you do
Except
not.
I
of
have a degree
fucking
in
what,
theology.
Pittsburgh or something?
No, degree in theology here.
Okay.
I'm telling you guys, I'm using his phraseology.
The Archbishop of Pittsburgh states.
All right, I'm using his phraseology here. Okay, so you have East and West Roman Europe, Roman European-esque Catholicism saying, so there's a great schism. There's wars in East and West in Turkey, since you like to call it Turkey. I've never heard a Catholic use the phrase Turkey in my life. You're the first person that ever used it for me.
I didn't even say that.
Yeah, you did.
You did. I said Istanbul. Even worse.
Yeah, that's actually worse. I didn't say America. I said Washington, D.C. It's like, okay, well, fuck you. What the fuck are you talking about? Considering the fact that they're basically the same thing when you actually look at them, minus hierarchical order. And they're basically the same thing. And the Protestants have the same problem the Orthodox they do with the Catholics. And they group every other antagonist of Christianity, or even internal antagonist, including cults, Jehovah's Witness, or Mormons, have the same antagonism towards the Catholics as the Orthodox. Everyone sees them as the same besides hierarchy. Why do you?
There is no more persecuted church than the Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. That's a fact. You can't even debate it. And if you will, then
yeah,
you're
we're
totally
both
into
the
that.
Holy Catholic and Apostolic
Yeah, we're
Church.
both.
No, it's ours.
We literally call ourselves that. That's what we call ourselves.
Yeah, Nicene Creed, brother.
Of course you do.
What
You're
do you not
LARPers.
understand?
We're like the ultimate LARP church.
No.
The Nicene Creed is the same
We're
besides
two parts of the same tree. Let's just can we at least agree with that? We're two
Grafted
parts of
in.
the same tree and we're split. It's like
Submit
we are
to
separate than
Rome.
the Protestants. That is a whole different thing.
Yes, we do. Okay, that's true.
But
I will admit
you're
that.
labeling
But
us as Protestant. That's unfair. Can you agree that is unfair? We're parts of. We at least have apostolic succession. We have the saints. We venerate the same saints for the
no,
most
of course
part.
that. I love Orthodox people.
So
Like,
it's
this
like-
is not
then
about
why-
that though. We're
why-
having a fun debate. We're having a fun debate.
It's not a debate.
I'm just
It's
asking
that
questions.
a lot of young Catholics are militant in a way that's not helpful. So, like, the thing is, we're the same enemies, and we're the same people,
Yeah, but
And
you're
we're not-
covering Nostra Aetate, attacking the church on your show.
Oh my
and you
God,
have no
my
voices.
I went to a Catholic church for a year, and my priest, the entire parish didn't even acknowledge Vatican II. And there's a split in the church.
That's not, we don't claim those people.
No. Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Yes.
They're called sedevacantists.
No.
If you don't accept Vatican II, then you're not a Catholic.
No, because
That's the
Vatican
hard
II is
truth.
a Jewish psyop. And here's the deal.
No, it's Nostra Aetate is a Jewish
No,
psyop.
it's not. No, it's not. And
So okay,
the amount of women involved.
so you're talking about this. You're talking about
So
this
you're
priest.
gay and liberal.
Hold on, you're talking
Are
about
you
this
liberal?
priest.
Are you liberal?
I'm as
You
liberal
ha-
as
you
you.
ha-
I mean,
You
you know,
have to be liberal to accept Vatican
I work
II.
for Gavin Newsom, just like you, my friend.
So you're liberal.
We both work for
cool.
Gavin.
Well, I'm not Catholic, so I'm not claiming. That's fine. I'm claiming I don't represent the Orthodox.
Okay, but
Church.
listen, you're talking
I'm
about
claiming
a
I
Jew.
don't represent the Orthodox Church. I'm saying I don't represent them, and I'm saying I'm a bit liberal, and you're saying I'm liberal and I represent Catholicism. I'm saying I don't.
I'm not
telling you the
liberal.
way they are.
I'm joking. I'm obviously not liberal.
I'm
None of
learning
us are liberal. Come on, what are we talking about? You're talking about a Jew
Our
who
producer
you're
tells us
saying
to shut-
one
Yeah, we
one
gotta,
document
wrap it
produced
up
by
here.
a Jewish man is entirety of Vatican II. That's just totally false. And the fact that you're saying that is the basis.
Hey, let's get Ben
for being
back
part
in.
of that
Ben,
church.
if you can hear me, come back on.
Go to a break real fast. We're gonna get Blue and Ben on it for a second.
I don't think that anybody.
Okay.
I do agree with
So
you.
we're continuing
that
the
if
show?
you are
No.
an enemy
No.
of the Christian church, then you know.
Okay, we're gonna take a brief
deserve to
pause, and then we're gonna sign off the show with Ben. All right, give us a few minutes here, folks. We'll be right back.
Jesus King.
Okay, everybody, we are back. Welcome back to Slightly Offensive. I hope you guys enjoyed that little debate / altercation between Orthodox and Catholics. I think it was fun.
I had to jump in. You know, I had to defend my Catholic brothers in the
well,
faith.
it's like, you Catholics, you guys give us such a bad rap. And it's like,
Oh my God!
Look-
You're talking about giving a bad rap.
you guys created this false narrative that you created.
You guys created
you guys
communism.
you guys
Like, you
created
guys invented
Byzantium
communism.
to discredit the fact that we were Roman. It's like, fuck you for that. Honestly,
See, he's not putting my
crazy.
How about I'll throw you one back? No, look, I'm
you
not gonna say
specifically.
I'm not gonna say the same
I
thing.
love you, nigga.
I'm not gonna say the same thing back to you, but I do love the Orthodox. Okay, I love the Eastern Catholics. That's what I'll say. Actually, I won't go that far, but it's just everybody attacks the Catholics for that one document. We've spent the last 80 years talking about this document, and I'm just kind of over it. Like, why? You know how many bad documents the church has put out? You think that your church has never put out a document that wasn't like perfect. It's not like there's anything
I do think
what's
that.
blasphemous in that document?
In what? Which one?
In Nostra Aetate. Have you even read it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so that's
No, but the context of
I
the,
doubt Elijah's read it. That's the whole problem.
the context of the argument.
I've read it. I find it disgusting,
Well,
but
you're
I don't
missing
find it
the
blasphemous.
context that set up this argument is important because he's saying that Vatican II was hijacked by this Jewish guy. I forget his name. We had him up earlier, who joined the priesthood, changed a bunch of shit in the Vatican, created Vatican II, and then left the church. Effectively,
It wasn't he created Vatican II. It's not even saying that in the tweet.
but
I
that's,
saw the tweet.
that's the context
It's
of the
saying-
argument,
right?
And I don't
but
know if I
it's just a
agree with
false
it. I
basis.
don't know enough about the topic to really have strong opinions, but anyway,
All I am going to say is this, and I'll finish the topic with this. Okay, I did want to call out the Protestants because you guys are bringing us into war with Iran. Everyone blames the Jews. It's actually not the Jews. It's actually not. It's the Protestant Christians. They're the ones that are being misled.
It's both of them
It's not the
together.
Catholics.
They're in league.
The Catholics are overwhelmingly against this war. The Orthodox are irrelevant. So it's the evangelical Christians, whatever, that are bringing this war. And I want to say as well, you know, all of you scared to death Christians who don't want to support Elijah or people who are facing controversy, you know, just sit down, shut up. Don't come out and defend our enemy. Don't come out and defend a Milo. Don't come out and defend a Jew. Because once you find yourself, oh, I'm on the side of with a Jew, maybe you should reconsider what's going on. You know, you need to call your master to come and bring the fight, not do it yourself on behalf of the enemy.
We
That's all
can
I'm going to
agree
say
with
on
that.
that.
And joining us is, well, his name is Australian Talk, and he is a
I can't hear
good,
you, Georgie.
Good. You can't hear me for real?
Okay. Just
What?
It's fine. Just
If my mic's working, it's cool. I can hear you.
Can you
guys.
hear Ben? Or can you hear?
No.
No.
don't worry about it.
So we'll just, if the mic's
No
working,
mics.
we're good to go.
Okay. Well, we are joined by Australian Talk, Benjamin. Oh, wrong fucking god damn it.
My good friend. I love this guy.
There we go, Benjamin.
So we're
Hey,
back.
we're
Is
back.
the mic working? The mic's working?
Yeah, the mic's working. I
Okay,
don't know
cool.
the audio.
So what I want to do is just give a shout out to everyone who's been participating in the live chat now for some time. So there's some names I'm extremely familiar with, SOBs from back in the day, and just some other dudes as well who are more recently participating. But it is noted that you all are there participating on a weekly basis, if not a bi-weekly basis as well. And for all the familiar faces that have never left us, of course, special shout outs for you. So we'll start from the top. So we've got Bob Johnson. He's been pretty prominent tonight in chat. So shout out to you, Bob. Let's go through the rest. Altered Air. We've got Apophius. We've got Dano Thermano. That's a new one.
Apophis is the name of the star that's going to hit the earth.
Oh,
We've got
the
Seraphim
Wildens.
Goose as well. Seraphim and Kayla, I see you there. Thanks a lot for all the messages, Kayla. It's very kind of you behind the scenes as well. Who else have we got down here? Let me shout out a few more of
shout out Butthead. He gave a super chat earlier. Shout out Butthead. I got his name wrong. His Rumble
He's one
name
of the
was
best.
different,
He's
but
been
seriously,
there
we love
for a long
Butthead. What's the other guy's name? Zesty AIDS or something?
Well, I'd normally save this for last, but Third Coast Texas Toast. Yes, you deserve some special treatment,
Yeah,
of course.
he's
Third Coast
chatting a
Texas
lot.
Toast. Third Coast Texas Toast.
Groiperstein.
More shout outs for you, Third Coast Texas Toast. And everyone else, notice where I am. We can go through them all. I'll try to get through them all. It's just that some of you guys have spammed so much in here. Okay, so we've got a Flying
Doomsday
Dutchman.
Cracker. We love
Who,
Doomsday.
Georgie? Who'd you say, my man?
Doomsday Cracker.
Doomsday Cracker's
This
in the
guy's
house.
in
He's
this
been
shit.
there since long before the
Oh, and we
beginning.
got a super chat.
Let's do it.
Mr. Dissident.
And anyone that sends a super chat, if you've got an X handle as well, we want you to put
He
that
says,
into the chat.
He says,
and we
see
will
you
give
in
a shout out."
Valhalla. See you in Valhalla, brothers.
Okay,
Word.
so we're going to go over there and catch up with Charlie.
I just got word that
allegedly.
clavicular is stable. Please God.
Nice, good. I thought he was out of the hospital already.
No, I'm just it's a meme of the, of the
Okay, so we've
simple
got not interested.
tweet.
We've got commenting is dangerous. We've got one Mr. Some Guy. Okay, Mr. Some Guy. Hopefully you can transform yourself into something more than just some guy going forward. The German dude, man, I can't even pronounce that. It looks like an Indian name, either it's a German name written in English letters, but we'll get to you next time. Lep. I'll just call you Lep. Who else have we got here as well, Georgie? So we'll go through them. Andrew 1 is there. Rusty's in the house. G'day, Rusty 121.
Shout out Chanel B.
You're back
As
with
well.
us as well. Yeah, there's a guy, Penix. I do remember some of your funny stuff from some time ago, so keep it up. Well done. Thanks for joining us. And Tomcat Purr. So that's the guy to find out if we know whether or not we should be tapping it or avoiding tapping it, because he makes them all purr. Well done, Tomcat. But I think that's about it for tonight. We'll try to get to it and give you all guys a shout out as we proceed going forward, because you participate in the show. I think it's only fair that occasionally we can give a shout out back to you guys. It may only be one episode a week, but you will feel acknowledged. Keep those super chats coming through. And as I said, if you drop your handle on X after one of your super chats, we'll definitely give that a shout out and drive some traffic.
And
to
how do
you.
people find you, Benjamin? If you want to
Well, they can simply look up any of Elijah Schaefer's scandals and they'll find me somehow inserted into that. Aside from that, if you want, you can check me out on X at Australian Talk on X. And you can join me in a Twitter space. So I'm used to do Twitter space all the time whilst I've been traveling, haven't been doing as many. I drop in them still frequently. But by all means, if you guys are SOBs and from the chat in a future Twitter space, that'll entitle you to come straight up as a speaker, and I'll know we're on the same page.
And we
Go
got
ahead,
one more
Blue.
super chat from the Shogun. This fucking confetti never fucking... I always have to press it twice. The Shogun says he did a little Sieg Heil and total white victory. Okay.
Total white victory.
Word. Word. Okay.
For more pro-white content online, you can follow my page at Based Wealth.
There it is.
White people built the entire world through the Catholic Church. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
And I am Sith Lord Groiper, also known as Georgie, the producer for the show. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun tonight. I hope you enjoyed the theological arguments from these theological scholars here on Rift TV. Again, I'm Georgie. It's been a pleasure meeting you all tonight. I guess I've already met you. Fuck, I'm retarded. It's over.
The scholars and the civilians, George. We met the civilians tonight.
Yeah, we met the civilians. Thank you all for watching and have a great night.
Good night.
Ashley said.